Yeah, so I mean, like, grew up in from Northwest. I grew up in Harlesden. I spent like massive chunk of my life in Jamaica, so I kind of grew up in JA.
Oh, okay. I never knew that about you.
Yeah, yeah, I grew up in JA, man. And then when I was about 11, I think, when came back over to the UK. And then yeah, man, just kind of been around Northwest from then, man, like Harlesden, Stonebridge, Willesden, and then yeah, moved out of Northwest about 10 years ago now.
Hooli's been about, you know.
I've been around, bro.
I was gonna say that's unheard of. People from Northwest don't leave Northwest.
Exactly,
Ever, for
bro.
anything.
Is that how political it is? Yeah, I don't even know. It runs down them ends.
It's just a London thing, bro. If you're from Northwest, even going to North London is like, they don't do it. It's too long.
It's long.
Okay.
Even for me, like, even when I was in Northwest, like, North London was just another place, like another different area. East London was a different area. Maybe like West London, even South London was like far until I moved down to South, and then now it's just easy. You know what I mean? I go and check Mumsy like every weekend kind of thing. You know what I mean? So like that trip is quick now. That trip is just, it's nothing. It's nothing.
Yeah, getting across London, it's not like Manny where you can get from one side to the other in 10 minutes.
Yeah,
like, you guys have got to put in stomps in it to go see someone on the opposite ends.
It's nuts. I mean, like, Dubl, even when
in the same area.
Dubl coming to radio, bro, I was like, what? I don't know how you done it.
Bro, I used to do it. So
Double's not well, you know. Double's not well when it comes to this stuff.
I don't know how you done it.
On that station, when I first started in Bang Radio in Harlesden, I was still living at my mum and dad's house. So that was in East Sussex, which is like half an hour east of Brighton.
Yeah.
So it used to take me sometimes 3.5 hours to drive to the radio station.
Mad.
Because getting there bruv, from where I was living to the edge of London, like an hour and a half.
Oh, crazy.
I mean, how can it take me 2 hours to do that tiny journey from the M25 into basically Wembley? Sometimes it was long.
Yeah, I got to give it to you, Dubl, man. He puts it in. He puts it. We'll give it to you right now on the Podclart, fam.
Give it to you right now, bro.
And as you can see, all of those miles paid off because my radio career is absolutely flying. So yeah, but it was all worth it in the end.
Nah, listen, when I'm telling you, Dubl was like driving, doing mileage, and then doing train.
Bro.
I'm like, you know what? That commitment was crazy inspiring, especially to me. I'm not gonna lie to you, man, because I was like, there's no way. You know, sometimes when you just think to yourself, I just can't be bothered, man. I can't be bothered to go into the studio. It's too long. You know what I mean? And then you just there's a little something in your ear going, do you know what? If Dubl can do it, come on, man. Come on,
I was driving for 2 days just to come and do this 2-hour show. Yeah.
Bro, I remember when we started this podcast, yeah, we was like, yeah, we'll travel, and then Dubl was doing like a 250-mile drive to Manny.
Oh, madness.
And we would record like 4 episodes, so we'd get like the month lined up in advance.
Smash it right out.
And then like I would go to London, but even still, I'd make him come into London, innit? Because there's going to London, and then there's going to Dubl's ends.
Yeah. Exactly,
it's just a different mission, but dedication, Dubs.
Dedication, bro. I salute you for that. Trust me.
Take my hat to you, bro.
Well, like I say, it didn't really pay off, but it doesn't matter.
No, do you know
I
what?
learned some valuable skills, so it's all good.
Yeah,
at least you can laugh about it now, G. You know what I mean?
Right, if you don't laugh, you're going to cry, aren't you? So,
Guys just laughing at his own radio career.
Yeah,
man. Oh my
exactly.
days.
And then they brought in things like Zoom where you don't even have to leave your yard. It's crazy, right?
Bruv, how did I only find out about this tool when lockdown was a thing? Why, like, we've been doing the podcast for 2+ years now.
Just over 2 years, man. Yeah,
and it was only 3 months ago or 4 months ago we realized we could actually sit down, still record it. Because when I stopped driving to Manchester to record, we were like, okay, cool. I've got my studio. Stylist has his. We'll record separately, and then I'll send him the video files. Obviously, we're having like hour-long conversations, so that's
cool.
You try send them video files.
About 16 gigabytes of video files to send.
Wild amount of filing.
Plus the audio, and then he's got to edit it. And it was just like from the time we recorded the Podclart to when it was actually getting online, it's like 3 days worth of work plus another day to upload it, and it was just long. And then Zoom came along and was like, shoom, literally zoomed everything up. Like,
I think this is a game changer. This, man, like, it's just so beforehand, even just trying to, like, obviously all DJs talking that, but just trying to lock someone down and actually meet them. This has made our life easier, innit? Like,
you know what? So it's so crazy. So like outside of the DJing thing, I've always worked in IT. I've been working in IT for years and years and years and years. So I've known about Zoom and I've known about other like video conferencing applications and stuff like that for time. So it's so, like, I'm very, very naive to it when I hear like this latest boom and people like using Zoom and other like go to assist and whatever it is that they're using, when these things could have been done from ages ago, bruv. Ages ago. Do you know what I mean? So but it's nice to have another outlet, and especially for like us DJing and stuff like that. I've done so many like Zoom parties, and I'm sure you man have done Zoom parties and all that before already. Do you know what I mean?
No, I've not done one yet, you know.
What? You haven't done a Zoom party?
You guys are gonna have to talk to me about this Zoom shit, man. I think Dubl, you've done one as well, isn't it?
I did one at the start of lockdown, but it wasn't like I've said this a couple of times on a couple of episodes. It wasn't like a public thing. It wasn't like, right, everybody join in. It was literally like a private party.
Like a private party.
Wifey, her friends, other friends, everyone just in there. And a good amount of people, and it was a vibe, but it wasn't like a public thing. It was just
I think since like the start of lockdown, there was like a couple of weeks, man. They were just like going crazy, and then I was doing the one that peaked when I had about 700 to 800 people in the Zoom party. Can you believe it?
Whoa!
That's like a full dance, man.
Bro, it was like a full rave. When I logged on, my set was like 9 till 10 p.m. or something. It was like one of them all day Zoom parties. Okay. And I checked in and it was like 800 people. And I was like, whoa, this is lit.
Yo, do you feel the pressure in a different like way? Obviously playing in a rave to 800 people or 800 man looking at you through the screen.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one.
It's a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah. But you know, you still got the interaction. So with Zoom, you can have spotlighting, where you can kind of put the spotlight on different people whenever you want, and that means that everybody in the Zoom party can see that one person.
Oh shit, like the NBA where they get the man in the crowd and he start cutting a couple.
Exactly, when they put the camera on you and you're
That's
like,
lit. That's lit. That's
lit. So it's dope. So that kind of interaction is quite fun. Do you know what I mean? Because if you're controlling, you're playing music, you're hosting or whatever, and the spotlight goes onto somebody, and you can just vibes with them. You know what I mean?
Don't flop when the camera comes onto you.
You can't flop. And it's so funny when you spotlight someone that's not ready and they're like, oh shit, and they try to do something crazy. But yeah, nah, man. Zoom parties are fun. I feel like they're kind of dying out a little bit now. I don't think that the like how it was before, it was like a little novelty, you know what I mean? But I don't think people are doing Zoom parties and shit like that anymore.
Do you think with these
they might make a comeback?
I was just about to say, with these new announcements from last night, do you think every man's going to be on Insta Live this weekend or what? It's going to be one of them ones.
Definitely. I think Insta Live is going to be popping again. Zoom parties. I think people are... Do you know what? With this whole lockdown thing, it means that a lot of DJs and personalities and whatever have kind of invested a lot more in their setup. Because they need to do these lives. To try and stay consistent or current or whatever it is, everybody's kind of doing a live. I mean, so many people have learned about OBS. So many people have learned how to make their technology work and what they need, and mic and mixer and setting up the studio. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, I feel like the lives are gonna pick up. Sometimes some of them are just shit. Some of them are
yeah.
Some of them.
I love it. Talk that crud, Hooli. I want
to
talk the crud.
Some of them are just absolute rubbish, bro. But then some of them are pretty good, man. Pretty decent.
Yeah, there's some super lit ones, and then there's ones at the total other end of the scale that are just like,
bro, which is just painful, man. You got people in the comments and like chatting. Oh, bro, it's just
the worst one is where you log into a live, and you're the only one. And you log in and it just says one viewer and it's you, and you're like, right, you don't want to leave, innit? Because you know it's just I
do that. I'll be on Instagram and I'll be doing something, and then someone will start a live and it pops up at the top of the screen. But at the same time, I tap the top of the screen to do something else, and then I'm suddenly just in this.
You jump in it.
Next thing you're in the live.
I'm the only person there because they only just started.
Yeah, it's a bit odd. It's all good. It's awkward.
It's hella awkward, and then you don't know if you should leave or stick
Yeah,
around.
I'm straight out, bro. I don't give a fuck. Like, it was an accident. I didn't need to walk in. You know that
This
meme?
guy.
You know that meme of the baby running around the corner and then running around? That's me, bro, all day long. Like,
yeah, coming in and out. Yeah.
That's the thing about Insta lives, man. It's so like, man, are just in and out of all of the minute. Like, I don't stay in one for too long. I'll check one, throw a few comments. I'll send some love, and I'll jump to the next one. Like, I feel that's why Instagram won't stick. Like, obviously they're trying to lock the lives off in it anyway. So I feel like,
yeah, I think they're definitely going to be clamping down on it, man. I know. I saw recently. I think Facebook are kind of getting hot on it, and obviously Facebook and Instagram, do you know what I mean? They're definitely going to work on it.
Yeah,
I've never used a
cut-off date, you know.
Really?
Yeah, I think they've got a cut-off date set where they're going to actually nail this live stuff like down indefinitely. Apparently, it's what I read online.
They're just trying to shut it down, man.
You get me? They don't want us to win, bro. Fuck you know.
Facebook's dead anyway, bro.
They don't want us to win.
Is that your internet?
Yeah, I think.
Oh, is it mine? It's probably Dubl's moved today, so he's got good internet.
I'm not in the studio today. I'm at home, so it's flawless. Amazing internet today.
Oh, nice. I'm connected in, man. I'm wired in, so I'm good, bro.
See, Hooli knows. Wire in that Double. Wire that thing in, man.
Wire that in, bro.
Come on, family.
Wire that right.
We've not even introduced our guest today.
Oh man,
you know what I mean?
We jump straight in. That's what we do, though, innit?
Yeah, that's what we do. But for the man that I don't know, man like Mista Hooli is in the building.
Now you guys better drop in some bombs. Yeah, not joking.
I've actually got sound effects on this thing, but for some reason it doesn't work in Zoom.
It doesn't fire.
Let me try.
Probably a good thing, to be honest.
Can you hear that?
No.
Nah.
One sec.
You are now locked into Compound Radio, yeah?
You hear that?
Look, trying to drop. Why are you trying to drop your own branding in?
Yeah. He's trying to plug.
I can't hear that.
Check Compound Radio.
I can't hear that.
Compound Radio. It's dead.
This guy. Fuck you, man.
Those famous effects.
Nah, bad. It doesn't work. I can't hear that shit for some reason. But I got my little. Woo!
You are connected, bro.
Yeah, out here, cuz.
Gadgets and
you're connected.
Try
I know. Do you know what? But Stylist, big up on the Compound Radio gig, man. Because listen, Compound Radio is.
Thank you, my guy.
It's doing bits.
We're trying. It's the long game with what we're trying to do with this, innit? We're just trying to create something within Manny, really. Like, obviously, if we can reach outside of Manny, but the focus at the minute is just trying to get our city on board and try and build a little something, man. Like where we are, where this container is, it's like a whole like creative community. There's like 300 containers, loads of different businesses, studios. There's like a barbers here. It's like a
sick.
It's like affordable like workspace in it for creatives. So
Yeah.
you can get like this space here is like £200 a month. And it's like just off the back of the city centre. So like loads of people and musicians, producers, engineers have all come over this way. So like,
oh, that's dope, man. Yeah,
we're in like the heart of the community in it. Like,
lock down the community, then you lock down the world, bro. That's how it is, isn't it?
That's it. So we're just trying to think, like going back to what you said before, like trying to adapt with these new times and learning new technology. Like if it wasn't for lockdown, I wouldn't know any of this stuff about streaming, bro. Like I wouldn't have looked into any of it. Like all the OBS, the software. I had no idea what any of it was before.
Bro, it's
like
mad.
this whole situation came around. So it's sick to see. Man are just adapting and
I love it, bro.
Trying to make this work, innit?
I love to see it, bro. I love to see it. I interrupted your intro though. What going on? What's going on? What?
The
guy, bro. That's as good as it gets on here, mate.
Count yourself lucky you got an intro, bro. Usually,
I got an intro.
Like, let's say their name.
Yeah, to be fair, we don't really do it. We just kind of jumping in it. That's just the way we.
That's the vibe, man. That's the
way we run.
That's the vibe. I love the name though, bro. I love the name.
I think that was me. That one. I'll take that.
I told Dubl from earlier. I was like, Podclart. That, bro, that gasses me every time. that gasses me every single time.
To be fair, that's Dubl's doing that. You know, this guy's not well in the head, bro.
Sick.
It's
absolutely sick.
It's the Podclart.
I too much time by myself, brother, and that's what's done it.
You know what? I'm genuinely jealous, bro. I'll let you guys know from the jump.
Nah, bro. To be fair, you should have a podcast, bro. You're perfect for this kind of stuff, man.
Yeah, nah. Do you know what? I've been working on one for ages, and you know, sometimes when you kind of have an idea, and then it just sits there, and then it just doesn't materialize. But I'm definitely gonna make it work.
I hear that.
But if I did have a podcast kicked off, it would definitely have been called Podclart, because
I think someone. I swear someone tried to cut someone teeth there, innit?
There was a couple.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Someone tried to bite the thing, man.
I wouldn't be surprised, but you know, people know the main one. People know the main one, and then the little ones after that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I feel like you've got the perfect, like, you've got the broadcast voice, Hooli, man. Like your vocal is like so clean. Like you should be doing like voiceover work or some shit. Like,
do you know what?
I don't know if you already are.
Yeah, no. I was doing some voiceover work, like radio ads and idents and stuff like that, and trailers and stuff for a couple of stations, but I didn't really make a big deal out of it. Do you know what I mean? I didn't really kind of promote myself as a voiceover guy, even though people was like, "Oh, no, you should keep
like a little side hustle thing in it, really."
A little side hustle, exactly, man. So I was doing a little side hustle. I'm kind of recording a lot of adverts. Actually, I recorded 2 radio adverts yesterday, but I feel like there's gonna come a time where I'm definitely gonna just try and jump into it like full steam. You know what I mean? Because I don't really do things by the half. So even though it was just a little side hustle, I feel like I have got the time to do it. Beforehand, I just didn't have the time to record and also edit as well. But I'm starting to get a little bit quicker on the editing side of things. You know what I mean? So yeah, I may need to do that, man.
I've always thought that you've had a good voice for radio. You know, like
that's what I'm saying, man. The guy's got a clean vocal in it.
Probably the best way to describe it is like it's the perfect BBC dancehall voice.
Yeah,
you know I mean? Like,
yeah.
I hear that.
The way you present your radio shows and stuff, it's so like the clarity is perfect. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't alienate anyone, but at the same time, like you can tell, like you know your stuff when it comes to dancehall music, especially. You know what I mean? So it's like I've always thought, your presenter style and your voice and that would have been perfect. You know, do you remember when Shawnee B left the BBC the first time?
Yeah.
In my head, I was like, it's got to be Mista Hooli next.
Hooli's got to step in. I remember that.
Yeah. Do you know what? So it's so funny. Like, first of all, Dubs, thank you for that, bro. Like, respect. I don't think you've ever told me that before, so that was quite emotional from you, bro.
Don't cry, fam. Man could be the first one to cry on the podcast. We don't want to.
You know what I mean? Make you shedding tears.
So it's only 20+1, fam. You know.
But yeah, respect for that, man. Do you know what? It's so funny because anytime I've done any kind of radio stuff, or even on the BBC, or I've done like guest shows at Capital Extra and whatever station it is, I feel like they always love it. It's just putting me into their whole output. You know what I mean? Because I feel like the show's there. The delivery's there. My vocal clarity is just, I don't know, it may just be me doing broadcasting for all these years. Do you know what I mean? It's just picked up, and I feel like how I deliver a radio show and I broadcast, especially like a specialist radio show, it kind of fits with what they need. The feedback that I've always had is that there's just no gap. The gap isn't there. I feel like the specialist genre, especially specialist genre, you guys know already, man. Like even for hip hop and R&B, there may be more of a gap for hip hop and R&B, or even like UK music or other genres. But for dancehall, especially like Afrobeat shows and stuff like that, the pyramid is so small, so there may just be 1 or 2 slots out of a 24/7 week. That they've only dedicated to dancehall. Do you know what I mean? So it's so narrow, but you know it will happen, man. It will happen. I mean, listen, the last cover show that I done at 1Xtra, I was told that the cover show was too good. So
yeah,
you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I was told that the cover show's too good. So apparently there was a bit shook that You know, I was gonna take seats and stuff like that.
Stepping on toes, bro.
Stepping on toes, bro. So
Stamping on toes. That's
not your fault though, bro. Like, you just gotta go in there and do your thing, innit? Like, that's not your fault.
Stamping. Yes, and you know what? Sometimes as well, though, I'm sometimes too nice. You know when you're just too nice and you just lay back and you're like, you know what? I let it come to me. But this year, trust me. This year's
you gotta go and get that shit.
Get in it, bro. Knocking on doors again. You know what I mean? Kicking down doors again. If you get the no, you get the no. But guess what? You tried, innit? You know what I mean?
How you ever gonna know if you don't try?
How the hell you ever gonna know? But I did go for a long period of just being a Mr. Nice Guy. Like, do you know what? They'll come to me. Like, they'll come to me. Like, I'm putting the work in, so they'll come to me. But it just doesn't always work like that because not everybody's watching what you're doing.
Real talk.
There's so much stuff that's going on, especially online, on the socials. There's so much. There's so many people doing the same thing as you that the attention may not be on you, even though you think, do you know what? I'm doing something sick right now. You know what I mean? My engagements are sick. I'm constantly posting, blah, blah, blah. I've got the right contacts in the right places, but they may not be remembering you every day. So when an opportunity may come up, they may just think about the last person that they interacted with.
Yeah.
True stories.
You see what I'm saying? Man. And then because, like, we're all sick, bro. Like, we're all sick. Dubl, you're sick of what you do.
I love this guy's confidence.
You see what I'm saying? You're sick of what you do. You're sick of what you do. So, like, we all could be there, but I just feel like it's right place, wrong time. But it's not even who you know anymore; it's who knows you nowadays. You know,
real.
Yeah, 100%. But there's so many other factors as well, because you got to think of, like, sometimes they're not looking for the best. And I've had this conversation so many times with people. Sometimes you're just not the right demographic.
True.
Like, I legit got told by someone at the BBC when I said to them, because I did a bunch of One Extra Talent things, and I did some other bits and other shows and stuff for them, piloted tons. And then when I was like, look, what do I need to do to get a show? They were like, everything is on point, except you need to be a female. Because that's what they're taking on right now. And that was around the time
I got the same thing, man.
A Dot was doing Extra Talent in the same like wave as me. So I remember sharing a lift with her before. Obviously, she was Amplified Dot, the rapper, and they just brought her in.
I said I remember sharing a lift with her.
I remember we're in the lift
claim to fame.
Man.
Yeah, I shared a lift with A Dot once. But no. So like, and as it happens, she got the breakfast show. She did breakfast show, right? Yeah, she got the breakfast show. But not just off the fact that she was a female. She's actually an exception to what I'm saying, because she was a very good presenter on One Extra. But I do know there was other females that got given a job before me, right? And they weren't as good. And they've got nothing to do with the station anymore. So
they got nothing,
I think sometimes they like to take people and mold them a little bit, innit? Like, I think if you go there sometimes and you're the finished package and you 100%. Everything is nailed in, like you say, your clarity, your broadcasting in general, selection, all of it is on point. Sometimes they don't want that. They want to take you and mold you into the
development thing.
Sometimes they want the success story as well. They want the success stories. So they want somebody who isn't that proficient in broadcasting, or they're not really up to scratch with broadcasting, so that they can put them through their paces, and then, you know what, this is our very own.
That's true.
Do you see what I'm saying? So they want a success story, but at the same time, radio's changed, man. I've been studying radio for a long time, bro. Like, I don't know, I fell in love with radio from when I was about 15, revealing my age, but that's like 20 years ago now. Yeah. And like for radio, it used to be about the talent. It used to be about the music that you play. It used to be about the show that you can deliver. It used to be about the links you can create and the banter and how you interact. Now, all I need to do is go and buy 50,000 followers.
It's true. Somewhere along the journey, I feel like it lost its way a little bit. Like, I go back to when I fell in love with radio. I'm probably about the same age as you, Hooli. So
yeah,
I'm
talking, I like the way you said probably still.
Probably, maybe a couple of years younger.
It's not confirming anything.
Couple of years younger still.
I like the way you answered. I like the way you said I don't know, but I'm probably.
You guys, I'm still waking up here, you know. Let me live today. I'm talking like going back. I fell in love with radio when it was like when Rampage and them man were doing One Extra at the beginning. Sick. And them guys were doing like, I think it was like 1 till 4 in the afternoon, or it might have been 10 till 1 or something. And they were the first guys I heard like mix on radio. So they were mixing, they were up in the mix, presenting, and like just that whole new angle of radio, which I hadn't heard before at the time. And I feel like now, I feel like they've semi-gone back to it a little bit. Like they've brought Heartless Crew back in, Rampage are back in again, doing what they used to do. Yeah. So like, I just feel like, I don't know, man.
Have you heard a Heartless show since they've been on One Extra?
I have.
I actually haven't. I haven't
heard.
I've heard one or two. It's what you would expect, innit? Like it's just Heartless, like presenting in a super relaxed style. Like just semi feels like they're hosting a rave in some parts.
Because I know Heartless. I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong here, but I'm sure Heartless were the first like presenter trio signed to One Extra when they started. But they got given they were given a show and they were on air for like 2 weeks and then they just flopped it.
And then that was
because,
that.
Like, I think they were turning up late. This isn't confirmed. This is what someone's told
Double's hotting up the whole thing right now.
With the disclaimer.
Oh my days.
I was told in a conversation about the early days of One Extra, because I never realised that Heartless were on there originally, but they were a bit late, like they're turning up late for shows and just wasn't like a professional radio show.
I think that's a perfect like example of like them man. They weren't broadcasters in it. Like, obviously trained with the mic, hosting a dance, but going into a radio studio.
When it gets professional, man,
it's a completely different. Like it's just a completely different ball game.
The expectation changes as well, though, innit? Because imagine, especially if you've been doing pirate radio for a long time, the expectation changes. Like especially if you're not listening to kind of like. Bro, I was listening to like BBC Radio 2 from a long time. Like I was always just infatuated with how presenters deliver a radio show. So I feel like I'm not saying that taking anything away from anybody else who's kind of on the bigger stations or whatever. But if you haven't been doing that, then you don't know what to do. Do you know what I mean? Because if they may just say, do you know what? Let's take Heartless Crew for example. You lot are big bad Heartless Crew. You lot are mashing out raves left, right, and center. Yeah, man, let's come and have a show. Do you know what I mean? But they may not be able to meet the expectations of like radio broadcasting.
Completely different format, isn't it?
It's different,
completely
man. Different, man. And then they'll probably just roll into the studio, 10, 20 minutes later. We're ready, yeah? We're ready now, yeah?
Like this thing isn't running, like these shows are run like super tight by the second as well, man.
Yeah, by
the roll up 20 minutes, ready to go. I feel like the broadcasting's an art in itself, man. Like I feel like it's an undervalued art as well. Like it's like you said, just studying people's links and how some of the best broadcasters, like you listen to them and I don't know, man. There's a specific art to it, innit? You can't just go in there and chat.
Nah, you can't just go. Nah, you can't. You need to know. Like production of a show. Like we used to self-produce our shows. Then Dubs, I know you probably self-produced yours, and when you was on Unity, right?
Same way, man. We had to we had to produce, select, DJ,
do
the links. I feel like that's the lit way to do it, though, man. I feel,
bro, lit, because you know what you expect, man. And even, do you know what? Funny enough, so back to talking about the cover show that I done for One Extra. Imagine doing everything for yourself, and then having all of that taken away from you.
Yeah,
bro, I was so like shocked because I would clean my own music, I would produce the show, get links ready, and then they were like, "Oh no, just send it to this guy."
Innit?
Nah, send it to this guy.
I couldn't believe it when they said, we've got this producer here, we've got Kerry over here, she'll help you out with your music.
Yeah.
What?
I got a sheet and it was like, at 1:26 and 32 seconds, we're gonna go, and I'm like, whoa, this is wild, bro.
I remember, exactly the same. When I had the first meeting about the first ever show, it was like, right, okay, cool, I'll make sure everything's clean. And like, everything doesn't have to be clean because that's what the broadcasting system is there for. Just send it all in the day before and we make sure it's all clean.
That's what we're paying our taxes for, guys. These men that clean our music.
Bro, these men that clean our music, fam.
The stuff that they don't even need, you know what I mean? We could have done that shit.
It's sick.
I hear you though, like, stepping into like the national radio, like, because we've all like dipped in and out of it, going from community where you've got to do it all yourself and you realise like, how much shit is actually done for you at the top level and just allows you to just focus on putting your personality out there like properly in it, where you can just focus on the links. I guess the mix show guys have got it a little bit harder, like Target X and like a couple of the other man, because they're still mixing interviewing and doing the presenting, whereas the people that just drive the desks.
Even a lot of those guys, the producers or the BAs will still often prep the interview for them.
Okay.
They still
they don't even do their own questions.
No. I'm generalizing.
Ah,
I think for example, someone like Semtex, I think probably does his, like, listening back to any of his old interviews, they're not generic questions. It's not something that just a contracted broadcast assistant would type in, Semtex went in. But listening to some of the other specialist shows, it's very clear that they were given a piece of A4 paper half an hour before the interview to read like 6 questions. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's very obvious when that was the case. And that was because they have a team and that's the structure of their show or whatnot. But
for sure. Yeah,
I think, you know what? I feel like getting onto a big platform like that gives you the potential to actually just be lazy on the graft. Do you know what I mean? Because suddenly if you've gone from doing what we're doing and then like cleaning everything, prepping everything, especially if it's a playlisted show on national radio, you don't even have to choose the music you're going to play.
Yeah, you just turn up and sit down.
You know what I mean?
You just turn up, sit down, and then do a couple seconds, and that's it, innit?
Push a few faders. We are out here, bro.
But, bruv, I don't know if it's the case now, but even like, for example, when Rampage were on 1Xtra daytime shows, other shows even had producers that would do the faders, because it's called driving the show. So they had producers that would drive the show for them, and the presenter literally just sits there in front of the mic, reads off the piece of paper, the mic's hot, and then when they're done talking, the producer will turn it off.
That's dead.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Those places shows mad.
But this is the amazing thing about going in through like community radio, because I feel like I never did pirate radio. So Hooli, you can probably correct me if it's like, but pirate radio, my perception of it was a mixer, 2 decks, and then just whatever mic was available.
And then just the mic. Yeah,
any
that's
mic.
it.
Like,
Any mic.
Community radio is like a step up from that, because especially at Bang Radio, you have like a proper, even though it was 500 years old, it was a proper mixing desk. You know what I mean? Like, it was a working mixing desk. It wasn't just like
as a broadcasting studio, it was up there. Yeah. Especially the jump from pirate radio.
I thought Bang was lit, you know, compared to what we were dealing with in Unity. Like, your setup was cold, and you had this the second studio.
Yeah,
I think where you was doing your interviews in there, right?
Yeah, I was
to Bang
Radio,
man.
They were sick.
Major impressed with that setup of the first time I came. I couldn't believe it. Like, Unity was very same way. We had the Soundcraft desk from like 1984, like super old school and that. But like the setup wise, the way you guys had it in, like, it was like a proper building, Studio 1, Studio 2, like the office bit with the desk. That was lit, man. You guys had it good.
The setup for Bang Radio was sick, man. And I remember when I first knocked on the door of Bang Radio. Do you know, actually, I was on Bang Radio when it was Life FM. So that was like even before Bang Radio and Life FM. And I knocked on the doors, and it wasn't where it was there, where it is now, sorry, in Harsden. But I knocked on the doors, and the equipment wasn't all that, but it was kind of similar to a pirate radio. But then when they got the studio for Bang Radio, I was like, yo, this is proper. Even though like everything felt a little bit ancient kind of thing, do you know, like the mix was old and stuff. But the features of like what you could do to deliver a show and like sick, bro, sick. And I feel like you just appreciate those kind of things when, you know what I mean, when you didn't see that before. Like in pirate radio, as you said, Dubs, you have like a mixer, 2 decks. Do you know what? Back in the day, it wasn't even like CDJs, bro. You had like, you know, the Newmark mix tracks, whatever.
The little racks.
Yeah, the little racks
with the
little jog wheel, and you're like
Remember trying to set a keyboard, and I was like,
do you remember? Oh, mate. Yeah, so
bloody hell.
Bro. Funnily enough, they still had them. My last show that I did on Bang Radio, they still had them in the rack. Do you remember there was an amp rack on the left-hand side of the decks, and they had them. I think they must have been for emergencies if like everything else packed up. You could. I don't know what you could do with it. I wouldn't even know how to work them now. But
they must have been trying to open a Bang museum or something. I don't know.
Bro, listen, I remember playing out on one of them when I was I was like 18, man, and like that was all they had in it. So I was like, yo, if I got a mix on these, at the time, I'm just getting started out. I'll play on whatever is available. I remember trying to cue rhythms up on them, but there's like a little delay when you press play, so you gotta like add the delay to when you press it, so you can like catch it on the beat.
Yeah, and it's so old school as well. So I think about January times or Christmas times. Remember, I went to a private booking. You know, like these private bookings, right? It was just any uncle that brought his whole setup and shit to the event. Bro, I walked in to go and play, and it was this friggin' old school Newmark jog wheel.
Oh my god!
I was like, there is no way we can work with this. There's no. Luckily enough.
Did you make it work, though, G? That's the question.
Listen, I had to just put that to the side. He was like, and you know, obviously, like this old Jamaican man, he was like, yo, what a problem, yo, you disrespect my thing, and you disrespect. So I'm like, yo, I'm not even disrespecting your thing, uncle, but it's a new time now, you get me? And then he was starting to talk about, you can't plug your laptop into my thing. I was like, bro, you know what? I just called up my brethren. I was like, I beg you send over a controller ASAP, because this is not gonna work. So yeah, people are still out here using those things, bro. It's mad.
Oh, I feel like if you can mix on one of them, you can mix on anything.
Anything.
Literally, like the day CDJs dropped, I couldn't believe it. I was like, what? I can play all my music in here. I can plug my Serato into this and play and have 50,000 records like at my fingertips. This is crazy, bro.
One time, bro. But yeah, no, it's good to come through the times. You get me? It's good to see the transformation, man.
So what's the crack with you now, Hooli? Are you still doing any kind of broadcasting? I know you're doing your streams on the weekends. Like I've tapped into a couple of the lives.
I've seen you drop in. I've seen you drop in, bro.
You, bro. Man's got the camera angle all close up and that sweet boy.
Yeah, seductive shit. Come on. I'm
telling you.
Call them styler for the gal them, you know what I mean? So,
oh my days.
Jeez, yeah. Nah, you know what? Still doing the lives, man. Still on the radio side of things. Actually, funny enough, so I was doing a show on Pulse Radio, which is kind of, it's been a station that's been around, especially around Northwest and West London, quite big across Northwest and West London, branching out to a lot of parts around London as well. It was quite weird moving from a local community radio station, legal community radio station, to Pulse, who are kind of doing their thing, especially for the community. But I came from that kind of era of working on pirate radio. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's not the good thing about Pulse is, even though it isn't a licensed radio station, what they're doing and the setup that they've got and the management of it is run pretty much exactly like a legal community radio station, and that's their aspirations and goals. You know what I mean? So yes, I'm on there. I do Friday nights on there. I haven't done a live show in a while, so I send them pre-records. But I'm hoping to. I had a conversation last week actually, and I'm hoping to get back doing live radio, man. Because I missed that. And obviously you can do shit remote now as well, innit? So
you can't
it's a different vibe as well, man. Doing
pre-record
versus doing a live show, like occasionally, because of the 500-mile journey to the radio station, there would be times where I'd be like, you know what, this week I'm sending in a pre-rec. Like, I'm not doing that trek. I can't afford the fuel, so I'm sending a pre-rec in. But it's just a completely different energy, man, when you're actually there live and you can interact with people. And
Exactly, man. It's I feel like doing a live is so important. Don't get me wrong. Like sometimes pre-records are great, man. You know what I mean? If you got something that you're doing, or you need to be at a booking or whatever it is, you just can't physically be there to do your show at that time. Pre-records are great. You just don't get the same energy. I just don't feel like I get the same vibe. You know what I mean?
When you do live shows, bruv, the minute that fader goes up, like the end, it's like the flick of a switch. Like
different
pre-record, I don't feel the same. I can still present. I can still do a decent show, but it's not like when I'm live. That shit takes over me in a different way, innit? Like I don't know what it is. I can't compare the two. Me, I hate pre-recs. Fucking hate.
All right, let's have a fun conversation about when that fader goes live on air and you're live on air. What is the worst or most awkward thing that's ever happened during a live radio show?
Ooh, you first, Silas. You first.
Bloody hell, the most awkward thing that has happened.
Yeah, any kind of radio disaster, anything awkward. Because I've got a fun story. That's why
I don't know if I can talk about mine on air.
Right.
The weirdest thing, I had that crazy stalker, innit? That came to the studio in one of my shows. I don't even think I can say this on there because it's a bit
Legal
peak.
issues.
Yeah. I had to get an injunction on some chick, man.
Serious?
Wow, Dubl, I told you about this.
I don't remember.
Yeah, bro. Oh, bro. To be fair,
Your
it's quite...
life has got to be lit.
Nah. This is when there was...
King
this
of
is
Manchester.
Never...
The king.
Allow it. This
You're not proper famous now. You got
no. It's when I was doing drive time 5 days a week, innit? It's like this is when we just started building up the station. So at the time, the station's getting really popular. I'm on 5 days a week, man. So like at the time, I didn't even think anything of it. But then after speaking to like management, apparently it's really common for like listeners to get like this infatuation with presenters, and it can happen. Like this same person, I know people at 1X show had issues with this same person, like 2 or 3 with the same gal. So it's a bit mad. So yeah, I had we was on there 5 days a week, and this girl was texting in all the time, and she got this infatuation with me through the radio.
It's crazy. It happens though, bro.
Yeah, but she started rolling up to the station on some madness. I can't even go into detail yet, but that was the most awkward thing. I'm on air, and she turned up at the station, banging on the door and all that, asking for man. I'm like, yeah, man.
Bro.
That is crazy.
Let me out the back door after this show.
You gotta try and make a quick exit.
Listen, I'll tell you guys off air, innit? But yo, there's a lot more to that story, bro. I wish I could share it.
That is mad.
Icky, bro.
That is mad.
I'm surprised you, man, have not. I'm surprised you've not had that, Hooli, with your voice.
No, you know what? There always was. Really, there always was people that listened to Bang that were like regular listeners, but not just like, sometimes I would cover like the late morning show for someone and they'd be there, but then later in the day at like 10 o'clock, I would have a specialist show. So I'd just stay in London for the whole day, do my work or whatever. And my show later that night at like 10 o'clock, they're still there listening and tweeting. They're still there. Like, yeah. But they do it for drive time. They do it for the 7 p.m. show. Like, and it's all the time. Like,
and they're hitting the presenters up. You know what? I didn't really get that much on Bang Radio. You know where I got it on? I found it on Pirate Radio.
Okay.
I found it on Pirate Radio. You know, obviously you're bigging up the 642 and bigging up the 85, but then you see the same like number flashing on messages, and then you getting like some weird messages coming through. It was back in the day there was a famous one. What's her name, man? I can't remember. She called herself Sexy White Princess or something, some shit like that. I don't know. But fam, when I'm telling you, she used to like, whenever I was on, she would be messaging and be like, oh my God, I want to do this. I want to do this to you. I want to do that. And she's sending through pictures and shit. And I'm like, whoa. You know, like back in the day.
It's the voice, bro. I'm telling you, it's the voice.
Listen, there was a period of time where I was going to be like, yo, where are you right now?
Mr. Hooli's coming over tonight.
Man is sliding after the show. But yeah, you can't really, you don't know who's who, man. And these people, like, I feel like sometimes they can just fall in love with a voice or something, man.
I think that's what it is. And like, you don't realize that some of these people, like, they're not doing a lot. So like, they're just at home chilling, listening to the radio all day. You get me? So they get that, because we're taught as presenters to be like super personable and like talk like we're talking to like the one person. You get me? So
person, like, man. Yeah.
When it's coming out the other end, they feel like we're like, if you're a good presenter, that is, they feel like you're talking to them. Like, so
or they're attracted to your personality and whatever. Do you know what I mean?
I remember having the same conversation with Nadia J because she started Bang after me. She had done, I think she'd come from West Side, but she came onto Bang Radio, and me and her had a changeover, so our shows were back to back on quite a few days. And I remember vaguely, I don't remember in detail, but I do remember she was telling me about one of the regular listeners was then hitting her up on her own socials and following her and liking everything and all this stuff. And I was like, well, because to these people, even though to us it's a small pond and it's just community radio in a small bit of London, this is a radio station. So like they see it the same as they might listen to Radio 1. So like all the presenters that they consistently listen to also because it's a high quality station. It's not like some rugged pirate station where the music just constantly stops and it's all ropey. Do you know what I mean? Everything sounds proper. So to these people, we kind of were celebrities or are celebrities. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like we are the soundtrack to their day, no matter what time. I remember there was a postman who used to do delivery driving all the time, always listening to my show, always hitting me up. And like, it was that where I thought like...
A postman was your stalker, yeah.
Postman, you know.
Wow. Man come with the mail, you know.
The mail.
Man was the... Dubl was getting the packages delivered.
Man said he wants to lick your stamps and that.
Oh my days.
Like that, you know.
Mega pause. Anyway, let's...
Me and Hooli got Bear Gallon and Dubl got the postman.
The postman, you know.
I'm not saying it was a stalker, it was just an example.
Postman
Postman Pat.
Anyway, the most awkward thing that ever happened to me on air, while we're just quickly changing the subject away from that weirdness, I remember doing... I can't remember what sound systems there were, but there was like a sound clash that happened in Wembley. And because Harlesden is like quite a heavily Jamaican community, the output of the station was leaning heavily towards the Jamaican community. So they did a lot of sponsorships of events and stuff. And one day, because I had daytime, Jennifer, who ran the station, she was like, right, we're going to do this event. And we've basically got 3 of the sound systems. They're going to be coming on your show, and you're going to do like a pre-clash warm-up. So they're all each of them are going to play a dub and all of this. And I remember like, okay, cool. This I think was the first time I had more than a 1-to-1 in the studio, because I always just did 1-to-1 interviews. Do you know what I mean? And like, so suddenly I've got like 2 guys from each sound system. So there's 6 guys in there. Fresh from Jamaica as well, so they're like heavy on the patois. And there's me.
Dubl was under pressure.
Under pressure as it is, because I'm trying to keep control of the whole show, and obviously I've got to play these guys dubs, so they have to be like clean dubs as well, because it's a legal station.
Yeah, of course.
And anyway, I don't remember how it started to escalate, but I was chatting, and I really wish I could remember the sound system names. One of them is quite a famous one. And basically, I was chatting with one of them, and then it just started escalating. And then someone in the background said something, and then they just started getting into it with each other.
Yo.
I'm on the club.
What, on live?
Live on air. And there's me, like...
That's
like,
lit.
yo, hold it down.
That is lit.
I lost control of the room, man. I'm not afraid to say it. I lost full control of the room. I lost control of the show. Lit. I've got Jamaican cuss words coming out of every angle of the room now. Like,
wow.
class on air. And I didn't have a song ready to play either. I couldn't just cut the mics and go. And there's me in the background, or actually on the main mic, but like, yo, shush.
Yo, you lot might need to calm down.
So I had to quickly load up a tune, cut it, press play, and then the station manager, what was her name? I can't remember, but she burst the door open of the studio. Everybody out now, boom! Like, and that was it. Like, everyone left the studio, and there's me. Like,
that's why Dubl never got. That's why Dubl never got into any of the big stations.
that could have gone better. And yeah, and that's my story of why I never got a show on Radio 1.
Mad. Was that on back? Was that at Bang?
Yeah, it was.
That is mad.
Yeah, I never had a situation that bad on air, but that
that's
sounds like
crazy.
Sounds like a sticky one. When you lose control of the room, it's peak.
Do you know what? I've never had like a madness like that. But I have had times where, I don't know, during the show, and then you're like, oh yeah, I've got a guest coming through, and you say yes to it, but you just don't know how it's because you haven't prepped for that guest. Do you know what I mean? So like it's just mad when it comes through. I think there was one time like an artist from a UK dancehall artist, and he was coming through, and I've never actually heard of him, but I was like, all right, cool, let me just browse him real quick, Google him, see what he's about. And this guy looked like mad ugly. I was like,
the guy said he
mad ugly, fam. Mad ugly, fam. Mad ugly. I thought, you know what? It could go one ways. It could go smoothly, or I'm just gonna be like, nah, this is trash, and I'm quite honest when it comes to trash music.
Good lad,
bro. I don't gas up any artist and their music is trash. Luckily it went all right. Luckily it went smooth, but it could have just been an absolute disaster because he was just on crud. Like as soon as he walked into the studio, he was just like, nah, I don't want to sit here. I want to sit here, and I'm like, bro, like this is my studio right now.
This is my show. You're coming on my show
right now. You do as I'm telling you, and every time I'm asked one. You're coming on my show, so like, you know, the one word answers and like,
bro, listen, them interviews, where people come in with the attitude and there's one word answers and like they're not, like, it just makes for the most awkward conversation. I hate them interviews, man. Like, give me something.
Give me something to work with.
Give me something to work off. Like, at least bounce off me a little bit. Like, you gotta help us out a little bit here, bro. Like, come on. I've had a couple awkward ones like that. I'm trying to think.
I found that a lot. I found that a lot, man. Even like some of the you know, you see some of the interviews and you're like, oh, bro, give like more. You know what I mean? Always.
I feel like with the UK guys, like a lot of them, like they get hits out of nowhere now, and they've not got any kind of media training or like. Not even I've got a full interest in doing like press and radio interviews. So when they do them, they end up being some of the worst to watch, man. I think that they're so unengaging.
But
if that's even a word, if that's even a word, I don't even know if that's even a fucking word, bro. But
unengaging, I like it.
No, you
get what I'm saying?
With the younger UK artists that bust through off of one tune and then suddenly they're everywhere. The problem is they don't understand the value of doing interviews. So to them, it's just like they're just turning up. Oh, fuck's sake! I've come from Northwest. I'm out of Northwest now, and now I'm in South, and it's taking me 4 hours to get here. And now I've got to sit and answer questions, and I can't be bothered. Blah blah blah. What they don't understand is that these days, to build yourself up as an artist, people need to see more than just the music and your music video. They want to know who you are. They want to know how you speak, your mannerisms, like what you like, what you don't. Do you know what I mean? All of these things which come through in interviews and conversations and stuff. They don't understand, like so many artists that are just a bit bougie about doing interviews because they're like, oh, well, Drake doesn't really do interviews, Weeknd doesn't really do interviews, and they're superstars, so I don't want to do interviews because I'm going to be a superstar.
But when you get to that level, you don't need to do interviews, innit? That's the difference. Like, if you're out here hustling on the street, on the ground, and you're trying to get your shit up, like you say, people buy into the personality sometimes more than the music. Like, so if you're out there and you put in and you've got content and people can engage with you as a person, that's just going to help your music like tenfold, innit? Obviously, some man just blow off the music, but I feel like the art of the interview semi got lost a little bit.
Do you know what I feel like, especially with some of the artists, like especially what Dubbles just said as well. I feel like artists, they feel like there's some sort of hierarchy, which there probably is in each genre of.
Are you catching that, Double?
DJs that they need to 100 that they. Do you see what you see where I'm going with this? So I feel like, and that's probably one of the.
Say it again. The internet glitched out. Sorry, bro. I didn't catch a word that you said.
Hold on. Give me 1 second. You know what? Let me switch over to my secondary because I feel like it's my internet that's going mad right now.
I think it's right. We've got someone on the podcast that has, but it's not Double that's got bad internet today. I can't believe
that's
it.
Mad.
Worse internet than me. Levels have been set.
Double, you got to do the podcasting. You've got to do the pod in that room from now on, G. Don't move location, bruv. You can't even tell you're not in the studio.
In the spare room.
You got a white wall, mate. It's all that matters.
Am I back? Let me see if I'm back.
Back in the building. So yeah, you said. Right, cool. Sorry, say that again.
All right, cool.
The hierarchy.
Yeah. So what I was saying, I feel like there's a lot of artists who just feel like, all right, let's just say a hip hop artist or R&B artist, like they feel, all right, cool. In the UK, I need to speak to Westwood. I need to speak to Semtex. I need to speak to, I don't know, whatever other big name they feel like that's on their list. And then it may come down to, I don't know, DJ ABC, and they're like, oh, do you know what? I don't need to give it, like, I'm gonna do him, but I don't need to give him 50%. I can just answer. I can just give the one word answers, which is a bit sad to be honest as an artist if you think like that. But that's one of the motivators for me, because there's some like dancehall artists that will come over to the UK and they'll be like, oh no, I'm just gonna do one or few interviews and I'm not gonna speak to the other ones. The other ones could include myself, and I'm thinking to myself, all right, cool. There's gonna be a time where you're going to need me.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? There's going to be a time where you're going to need me and you're going to come to me, and guess what? I'm probably going to remind you about the last time you was in the
when
UK.
you're aired, man. Now
you aired, man.
Now you want to chat, bro.
Yeah, now you want to chat, and that's one of the motivators. And I just feel like artists have got this perception that, you know what? I don't need to. I'm going to be speaking to Westwood, Semtex. I don't need to give Dubl 100%. I don't need to give Stylist 100%. Like, I feel like that mentality, which is an absolute shit mentality.
Yeah, that's poor.
Yeah.
But I feel like some of them have it. Because if you see the difference in interview style, and what they give to interview and how much energy they give to some interviews, it's just different, man. It's just different.
Yeah, fully. But even that mentality, like going straight to Westwood, for example, that's just because he's got a massive brand and it's the go-to play. If you've got a Team Westwood TV interview, like, cool, that's gas. That's like a level for whether you're a Jamaican artist that's come over. I don't know whether the Americans care that much about it, because I don't see all of them come over, but mainly the major label ones. So obviously,
yeah, of course.
The label. But then, do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that for them is like, it's about numbers.
I was just about to say, man.
You know, like, it's like they know,
numbers.
like Westwood's got like 1 million subs on his YouTube channel, whatever. Plus, he's got national radio that can go out. And so there's two big listenerships.
Two big platforms.
The quality of it doesn't matter, because let's not pretend like Westwood is not a good interviewer.
I was just about to say.
It sounds shady as fuck.
No, it's not. It's not.
It's not.
It's not shady.
He's not a good interviewer. He doesn't write his own interviews.
Be real, man.
And that, like, do you know what I mean? Like,
real shit.
Double's on one today.
He's on one. He's out in man today.
He said Westwood.
No, but I'm just saying.
He said
like,
Westwood's dead. Oh my god.
Exclusive.
Westwood is not a good interviewer.
Oh, my shit's falling apart, fam.
Look, this big shooter can't even get a decent mic.
Exclusive.
No, I agree. It's just a shame, like, some of these people at the top of the platforms don't do the best interviews.
They don't.
Yeah.
They don't.
So like even like Dubl yourself, man. Like you've been out here from forever, and like you get the gems and ask them questions that I feel like you hear the same fucking questions. Oh, why are you called Pop Smoke?
Yeah.
Or like, how did you get the name? You know
what made you do this album? Like, yeah.
What music influenced you?
I'm thinking to myself, actually, if I asked Pop Smoke any of those.
Did you really?
No, I didn't.
I feel like the best interviews is where it's just like conversation like this, where it just flows, man. I feel like you get the most out of an artist when it's just super relaxed, and it's not like, I don't like it where like the interview feels like it's an interview. I'm gonna pelt a question at you, you're gonna give me an answer. I'm gonna pelt another question at you. Like let that thing. Like,
yeah, some of my best artist interviews have been literally organic. We turn up the mics and we just vibe. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I don't even introduce who I'm talking to. Like, it's just a vibe, and we're catching
sort of like us here.
Sort of like here. You get me? So
it took us half an hour to introduce Hooli, you know.
But nah, those are like some of the sickest ones, man. Like, still, those are definitely some of the sickest ones where we vibes and we're talking about life, like real life, and sometimes you don't even talk about the music side of things. You know what I mean? And a lot of artists, they love doing that because it's something different, especially if they've been interviewed like 5, 6, 7 times already for the day, and you're like the 8th interview to drop into the hotel.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
They're like, oh, please don't ask me.
And not to mention, if they're on like an album run or a world tour or whatever, like the international artists, that might have been their 5th country in 5 days, and they're doing press in every country.
Every single country.
Yeah, you forget, man.
So you've got 5 interviews today. But you had 5 yesterday in Sweden, 5 the day before in France, 5 the day before that in Germany. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, must just be a constant, like...
I feel like where the problem is, bro, like people watch interviews in it of these artists, and then like they'll do their research and go and watch other interviews with the same artist and just copy the questions. So like you end up with 50, 60 interviews all asking the same shit. And like these artists just become regime and like robotic with the answers because they're getting the same stuff over and over again. So like you say, if you break it up and it's not even, don't even make it about the music. Like obviously bring the music up, but I feel like even like who they said talking about life in general, how these man are like, do you know what I mean? As people, not always the music. Like you get me? I feel like
that's always been my interview style, bro. My interview style has always been just like natural with flow. Even like when I spoke to Damian Marley, we didn't have a conversation, bro, about music. Like there was no discussion about. I think the only thing that we spoke about was Stony Hill, the Stony Hill album. Like briefly, we spoke about football, kids, families. We spoke about work. We spoke about the weather. You get me? So it was just mad sick, and I got a lot of love for that interview just because it was different, man. It weren't, and I could see that his vibe was a lot different to when he's answering other questions. Don't get me wrong. The first time I interviewed Damian Marley, that was about my third ever artist interview.
Mad,
bro.
Damian Marley was the third.
Damian Marley was my third in life. But listen to this.
That's fire.
It was so cringe, bro. Like,
was it?
It was so cringe. Like, even when I listen back to it, you know, like, because I'm trying to do like the proper thing. So I'm like, so when was your da-da-da? And he's looking at me, and I can feel like he's looking at me, and he's just answering me, yeah. Well, you know, we kind of did this and we did that, and I was like, oh, that was such a shit question. Like in my head, I'm just thinking, in my head, I was just thinking that it was such a shit question. Why did I ask that question? Yeah.
We've all been there, bro. We've all had them.
Man. We move, and then at the end of it, you can just tell his vibe was just like, all right, safe, and he just got up and cut.
Oh my days!
I was like, oh, please, can I get just one picture up with you, please? But yeah, it was dead.
The guy asked for the pic at the end as well.
Exactly, bro.
Jordan, I feel like these older artists, the more that like the ones that have been about and have been around the block, they're better for interviews because they kind of get it. Like I don't know, man. I feel like whenever I've interviewed the more experienced, like older artists, they're happy to just settle down and have a cool conversation. Whereas the new kids on the block, where it's like you gotta pull it out of them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it makes
the old ones are more seasoned, aren't they?
Yeah, trust me, man.
I do feel like it's a bit.
Said the older ones are seasoned.
The older ones.
Why?
I do feel like it's a bit of a balance though, because I've had like brand new artists, literally fresh out the box, and they've been really sick, like interviewees, and then I've had older artists that have just been like, clearly they're very bored of the cycle. Do you know what I mean? But on the flip side, I've had brand new artists that are just shit to talk to, and then I've had old artists that are just like proper amazing. But I guess it's just how you approach it, innit? Like it's like you said at the start of the conversation. If you're coming with different questions and a different vibe and a conversation for them, rather than just, why are you called this? What influenced this album? Like, basic, generic questions.
I think that's why podcasts do so well now, because it's just open topic conversation, isn't it? Like podcast seems to be where the future is. Everyone's tapping into it. Everybody's doing one. You know what I mean, about whatever subject. Like
I feel like a lot of artists probably prefer doing the long form podcasts. Like if you look at someone like Joe Rogan, for example, he's dropping like 4-hour long episodes with people. Yeah, you know what I mean? But like they're covering everything, and the people and sometimes it's not even when that person's on a promo run for something, they barely even talk about it. They just talk about everything from is the world flat to are there aliens to what happens when you die, that kind of stuff. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like
you can't really you can't plan it on a podcast, innit? Like you have a certain subject in your head, and it never goes that way. No. Like same with us, bro. Like we end up talking about all sorts of crazy stuff. Like we try and keep it around the DJ world, but sometimes it can take a left, quick right.
Yeah, the podcast conversation is just. I feel like podcasting in general is I just think it's sick, man. I think as a listener and a lover of podcasts as well, you know, when you're just listening to a podcast and you feel like you're in the conversation, even though you're not in the conversation. But then someone may drop a little gem and something that you can relate to, and you're like, yeah, deep. And then somebody might agree, and you're like, yeah, this person's on my wave. Do you know what I mean? Or sometimes you get like the comedy podcasts, like even like the comedy podcast where it's just full on banter all the time, brother, and like sometimes they just get you through. Do you know what I mean?
Trust me.
bro, on like a Free Shots podcast, and then I'm just dying for like
that man go in
hours, bro, hours. You know what I mean?
Even like the business related stuff, or like the mental, like all the stuff that can help you like run your day to day, like keep your shit together. Like there's so many different like forms of it now, man. Like you can find anything on there, but like it's crazy. It's crazy. Yo, Dubl.
Yeah, I've got a question.
We've got something to ask in it.
Do you are you on the same thing as me?
Yeah, I think so. We've got the perfect guest on today.
Yes, you know what? I said to when this happened, I was like, right, we're not discussing this on the Clark yet. We have to get somebody.
Every time we brought it up, it's like, no, save it.
Like, yeah, let's not talk about it. Like I said, let's get Hooli on and we can have this conversation. So let me set the scene.
Let's go.
I was playing at a party in Southampton, probably about a month ago now. Like a lot of people might have seen this on my.
We're gonna have to put the snippet into this.
Yeah.
So anyone on YouTube can see what's
going on. A lot of
on.
people might have seen my Insta story because I had to do this, right? And there's a young DJ. I'm not going to call him out. I don't want to embarrass him. I don't want to put the heat on him.
Say his name, man.
I'll do it. No, if he does it again, I'll say his name. I'll come on and burn him to the ground. I'll burn him to the ground.
If he does it again, like a naughty school kid.
So anyway, I finished my set, and it was Carnival weekend. That's when it was, Bank Holiday weekend. So it was like a carnival special. We had some carnival dancers come down from a carnival band. Carnival band, is that what they're called?
Yeah, like mass band. They call them carnival mass bands and stuff.
So they're all dressed up and stuff, and he came on to just run some tunes for them. And during his set, he was running Beanie Man, Who Am I? Playground Rhythm, 89 BPM. He was running it at 114 BPM with the key lock off, right? So it's not even like the pitch was up.
Yeah.
And like, I know this is sort of like a thing with young dancehall and bashment DJs. Like the new generation of bashment DJs seem to know no levels when it comes to pitch control. So I was like, well, we've got to get a dancehall specialist on to break it down. And like, we need to have this conversation because it's getting out of hand now. Like you can't, it's out of hand, bro.
Go on. I'll let Hooli go. I'm not even going to say nothing yet.
Nah, do you know what? I'm with you, man. 1,000,000%, bro. Like sometimes it just sounds so ridiculous. Like when it's just pitched up. I tell you one thing though. So you can just be in a dance or you be in a rave or whatever, and you're listening to dancehall and it's pitched up, and I feel like weirdly it definitely creates a different kind of vibe for dancehall, even though it's pitched up kind of crazy. It's like it speeds up the vibe. It does speed up the vibe. What's the maddest thing is if you try to listen to a dancehall track at 0, it just sounds weird.
Okay.
I don't know if the last time you jumped on Spotify or whatever and you listened to a dancehall track just as it was recorded, and it sounds weird, like Zim Zimma, who got oh, it just sounds mad slow.
No,
like,
I get the speeding up, bro. I think Scotty B said it when he was on. He's like, I play everything like at plus.
Plus.
Where's the limit? Because 89 to 114, bro.
That is nuts. That's
a different realm. You can't dance to that. You can't can't dance to Who Am I at 115. You'd be going mad.
Yeah, some of the newest selectors, I feel like they've picked up this vibe and style from somewhere, and it's stuck. And now, like dancehall lovers, people who rave and party to like go to dancehall and bashment dances, etc., like they're expecting to hear.
It just seems accepted now.
It's accepted, bro. It's 100% accepted.
That's normal over in Jamaica, though, isn't it? All the music's played like sped up, but obviously not to that extent. But like,
a lot of music's
normal,
played sped up. That extent is crazy, but a lot of dancehall is played sped up now. A lot of dancehall, so you're kind of losing the original flavor. But I feel like ears are conditioned to it now. Like whenever I hear it, I'm just like, yeah, I'm just so used to it. But some people, they go wild.
No, the thing is,
Dubl posted the video. Dubl posted the video and caused the right stare.
My DMs were popping for the next 24 hours. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Did you name him? Did you name him when you posted it? Did you tag him?
Yeah, on the thing. The thing is, yeah, he did it earlier in the set because he had a set before I came on as well, and he was playing mad fast, like similar stuff to that, but it was more to do with the pitch. So he didn't have the pitch lock on, which is what made it sound even more mad. Had he had the pitch lock, the key would have remained the same. And it just would have been a faster version, but cool. Bro, it's sounding squeaky as fuck. All the frequencies are up. Like, it's just, and I said to him, I was like, no, like, relax the song a little bit. Because as well, he wasn't using decks. He plays internally off the laptop. Okay. So it's literally like, there's no limit when you play internally on the laptop. You can
go to plus 100.
4 billion% if you want.
Yeah, all the way.
And so it's not got the boundary of the physical pitch on the CDJ or on the turntable that we usually have or we're used to. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
And it was just
relax.
So it was just literally. I don't know if I'm not really sure how the sync works on Sorority because I've never used it. But I don't know if it's just like if you've got something running and shut up, Stylus. Something running and you load the next one up, does it automatically make it go to that BPM? I don't know. So
you tell us. You tell us.
Yeah, I know you're the expert. Man. Fucking hell.
I've had enough.
I want to gas it. I want to gas it. I know doubles against controllers and bloody key lock and all that. He's not on it.
Listen, doubles a master at his thing. But listen, it's I don't know, bro. Do you know what? I don't know. I don't think there's any explanation for it. There's no justification for it. Sometimes it just sounds ridiculous because the song sounds ridiculous. Ridiculous.
But this is my point, bro. When the pitch is up so much that it doesn't even sound like a human voice anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like it sounds like vocoded up to the fucking heavens, bro.
Yeah.
Like super squeaky. Like it's just to me.
So I was having a conversation the other day. Sorry to cut you. I was having a conversation the other day, and it was whether the like dancehall artists if they're okay with this.
That was my
behavior.
next question.
That's a good point. That's a good question. Still.
Yeah. So I was watching a video and there was an artist. I can't remember who the artist was, but they were actually in the rave whilst their song was playing at a crazy pitch. And they were just
licking down the DJ already vibing.
No, they were vibing. They were actually vibing. But I feel like because that DJ was quite an influential DJ in Jamaica,
let it slide.
I feel like they let it slide. Like it was all right. I feel like if it was another DJ and they were in the same venue playing that track at that speed, I don't think that they would have been okay with it because as an artist, I've recorded my music to be heard.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? At a normal pace. Like, all right, pitch it a little bit if you want to, but don't pitch it so it changes the song.
Yeah. And not only that, think about it. If suddenly everyone's used to hearing it, it's like you said, when you hear it at normal speed, it sounds weird. What's going to happen when that artist starts performing that music live?
Exactly.
Like, oh, bruv, he's falling off, man. Listen to how slow he's doing the song. This is the normal speed for the song.
Yeah.
You're just used to hearing it 20 BPMs quicker.
Man, performing it in slow-mo.
That creased him, man. Guy said he's fell off. Look how slow he's performing.
But even like, I remember reading something like David Rodigan said about, because another very popular thing amongst dancehall selectors, and I don't necessarily have a problem with this because I do it as well, but juggling very fast. Sometimes you're even lucky to get a whole chorus out of certain selectors.
If you're lucky.
You know what I mean? Like you might get a one line, and if it's a sing-along tune, you're getting the start of that line.
Yeah.
Tune's getting cut, everyone's singing it, and then the next song's getting dropped in. But I remember David Rodigan actually saying, like, that's not the way the music was made. If the music was supposed to be played that way, they would just make a 10-second song that you can sing a bit to and then move on to the next. So David Rodigan was saying that he doesn't do that. He lets a song breathe during his set.
Yeah, but that's Rodigan can. Rodigan can stand up there and let full rhythms run. Ain't no one telling him, man.
No, but that's what I'm saying is His Royal Highness Majesty Rodigan saying that, so that's cool. But
do you reckon it's down to the people though, bro? Do you reckon it's down to the people why man only let a song run for so long because of how like short their brain span is now? Man hear a verse and a chorus in the board, they want to hear a next song.
True.
I think it's down to the DJs, bro. Like, because I'm guilty of it as well. Sometimes if it's a very popular song, and you both will have the same thing, real popular song that just seems to stick and stick and stick forever, like, you don't want to hear it all the way through for the 4,000th time this year. Do you know what I mean? Like,
True.
do you know what I mean? Like, it's just,
but like, it's become a competition though. I feel like amongst dancehall selectors, especially like the younger ones who's playing out, like how fast you can juggle.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like that maybe that they feel like it showcases their skills, but it's like how fast you can juggle, how fast you can drop another tune onto the left deck or the right deck and mix it in, and you know what I mean, and then cue in your cue points, and then you're showing off your cue points and stuff like that. So I don't know, I feel like it's more of a challenge rather than them entertaining and playing. Because I heard the second verse of a tune the other day, and I've never heard it before.
Didn't even know what it was. Yo, if you said to me a couple rhythms, I'd be like, I've not even heard the song this far in.
Bro, I never heard the song so far in. So yeah, I don't know, but it's how we're conditioned now as well. Do you know what I mean? We're conditioned that way, and I think if you ask any dancehall selector or any other kind of DJ who champions dancehall music, they'll tell you the same thing, bro. They'll tell you the same thing. They don't. We don't understand. But then you got like foundation DJs like Rodigan, who would say this is not how the music is supposed to be played.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? They'll tell you like the artists who've been making this music and how they've been playing it throughout the years. I feel like people like Rodigan and stuff like that, they're probably disgusted, bruv. I can only imagine that they're disgusted. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like even like some of the old school cats, you know, like Chris Goldfinger and Robbo Ranks and them, man, they're probably thinking, yo, what is going on in the world? But
yeah.
What do you make of current dancehall, Hooli? Because I see a lot of people saying that it's kind of moved, like lost its energy and its vibe a little bit. Like, what are you, obviously as a dancehall like Don and being out here doing it, like where do you stand on the current state of dancehall in general?
I tell you what, I've got a crazy love for dancehall, but it's lost its spark somewhere. A lot of the new artists, they're not making hits. There's no longevity in their hits anymore. They're making music for now, and they're trying to pop it off now.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? And because so like it's like, let's go back to kind of like Shabba, Supercat, old school Beanie Man.
They still run the dance now, innit?
Bro, they were making timeless classics, and I don't feel like new artists are doing that anymore. They're not going into the studio and trying to make a hit. They're trying to make a hit for now, and then what they're doing is, because they're churning over so much different tracks, like they can make 5, 6 tracks in a week, and they're hitting one out. So today's hit might not be a hit tomorrow because they're throwing out something else. So I feel like it's just lost its longevity. Like dancehall artists, they're not making music how they used to make music. And some of these new cats are just, I feel like they're spoiling dancehall, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie.
Do you not think that some of the older dancehall artists, the ones that you named as well, were still making song after song after song? Because I feel like that's kind of been a theme in dancehall music. Just literally, the artists just seem to live and breathe studio. That's what they do all the time.
Yeah, that's always been.
The difference is, back then there wasn't the infrastructure for putting out 400 songs in a week.
Exactly.
Let me actually say a realistic number, like 6 songs in a month.
6 songs. Yeah.
Because there was a process. I mean, I don't really know about the musical process in Jamaica like 30 years ago, if it was the same as over here where you have a song and if it gets signed it then gets pushed to radio for the single. I don't know if they did that the same way in Jamaica, but I do feel like when you listen back to some of these artists' catalogs and you really do dig deep, people like Supercat, they've got their hits and their big tunes, but then there's like, they've voiced there's many other rhythms as well. That's all just there. It's clear that they were just constantly always in the studio perfecting what they do, making new music. Whereas now, I think because of the technology, because obviously back then, to get a song out, you had the physical costs. And obviously Jamaica. Yeah,
you couldn't just drop a rhythm like now. You can just anyone can be up on Spotify at any time now. Anytime. Drop a rhythm next week.
But like back then,
slow down.
But to get the song out, imagine being in Jamaica as a recording artist. To get the song out, you have to cut it to vinyl and get it to the selectors, to the radio. There's my song.
True.
There's a big cost behind cutting these discs. Whereas
Definitely.
now, there's not. Some dancehall music coming out now is not even mastered. It's not even
Bro,
mixed.
it's not even
I mean,
mixed.
it's just like
That's not even in dancehall either. That's going right across the board. That I'm hearing dodgy mixes from Drake. Like, what the-
Serious.
like, bro.
Mate.
Even these men are cutting corners now.
Yeah, I think it's just so accessible right now. Do you know what I mean? They can just jump into the studio. It's an electronic beat. You remember back then it was authentic beats. Like
Yeah,
you're
I
hearing
hear that.
instruments, bro.
like really playing bass,
Really
real
playing
drums
the
and stuff.
guitar
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the
yeah.
drums, brother, and everything's strumming and the sound is just different. Now, it's just everything's computerized so quick. You can just build a rhythm so quick. It doesn't sound as authentic, which is why you would find that a lot of new dancehall artists, especially, if they're performing live, the track sometimes sounds different because the instruments are not the same. Do you know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
They're not getting the same sound from the instruments that's used when in the production. But you've got a band that's trying to play it, so it kind of sounds different. So the track may sound different, and that means they're not getting the same forward that they're expecting. But yeah, I feel like it's just a mad difference. I can't lie to you. Like dancehall, even now when I'm listening through like new dancehall packs and I'm searching through forums, and you know how we source music already. Like we all source music in the same way, or on plug-in mail outs and whatever. Yeah, some of it's just not grabbing me, bro. Not grabbing.
I feel like even keeping up with dancehall is hard, man. I go on these dancehall, yo, bro, there's 97,000 rhythms dropped this month.
Yeah, easily.
And I'm like, I used to like stay on my dancehall hard, and I find it a struggle. I feel like
Bro, it's a struggle for
there's
me.
so much out there, like trying to find the ones that are popping. It's
a struggle for me.
You got to really dig in it.
There's an art to kind of flicking through a track. Like if you got a track and you just flick through it, bam, 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 bam. Ah, yeah, cool. This one's the one. This one's not the one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then there's so much like rubbish, and then you might find the one gem amongst the crap, bro. And you're like, all right, cool, this can work. You know what I mean? And then, all right, we're gonna champion it. We're gonna service it, or even some of the pluggers, like the trusted pluggers that we get music from, and you know anything that they send you is gonna kind of be certy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's gonna kind of be certy, so we service those ones. But sometimes you find a gem, sometimes not. But I feel like the level of dancehall right now is not what it used to be at all, man. At all. And I think any dancehall selector will tell you the same thing. Any dancehall broadcaster will tell you the same thing. It's a struggle, man. It's a strain. But I feel like for the genre that I love and we've championed for years, bro, we just kind of get through it. You know what I mean?
I still feel like dancehall like brings out a different emotion when I listen to it compared to any other music.
Different vibe,
I don't think any music can compete with the energy that like dancehall. I might get a shot for saying this, but I feel like Afrobeats does this as the same kind of vibe as dancehall for me. Like it brings that vibe. Whether you'll agree on that, probably not, but.
Yeah.
I tell you what it is. I know what you're saying.
Nah, bro.
You know, innit? You know.
I know what you're saying with the Afro beats, and I think it's probably because it's like that summer vibe, innit?
Yeah.
When you listen to these kind of songs, whether it's a big Afrobeat song or whether it's a big dancehall song, like it doesn't make you think about winter. Makes you think about
makes you feel about good times,
being by the pool,
good energy,
sharing the wine, drinking some rum. Do you know what I mean? Like whatever.
True.
And like, so both genres have that element, but the difference for me, like, even though Afrobeats isn't a new genre, it feels like it's still very young in its popularity. Whereas dancehall for me has been, it's just been here forever. It's been here longer than I have. Do you know what I mean? Like it doesn't feel like that with Afrobeat. So with dancehall, there's so much more to it than
I think with Afrobeats, it's just recently commercialized. Do you know what I mean? So there's a lot more ears on it now, and you can also hear the sound like in a lot of like even like pop. Like the UK pop charts, you go through it, and a lot of these, like the UK, it's
Afro swing,
Afro pop, Afro swing, Afro rap.
Afro bash. What about Afro bashment? That's the worst one. That's the worst term.
What about Bashfro?
I
just made that up, by the way.
There's no way. I was gonna say there's no way.
Bashfro,
bro. There is no. That would get cancelled straight away.
What sort
Fuck's
of
sake.
music do you play? I'm a bash throw DJ.
I'm a bash throw DJ.
Yeah,
Allow
it's
it.
not happening. Not happening. Did you
Sorry, man. I'm on one today. Allow me, man.
We're on the cusp of talking about dancehall classics and stuff. Have you seen how popular TOK's Chichi Man song's been in America recently?
Nah, I haven't.
What?
I haven't.
So
Is it
that
popular?
song, yeah,
I'm surprised.
it blew up on TikTok because someone popular found
Okay.
it and was dancing to it.
Oh my.
But because they're
days.
like,
All the kids on TikTok, what on earth is this?
What
rhythm?
is going on?
The kids don't know what's going
feel
on.
like with America, yeah, apart from the actual Jamaican communities in America, a lot of like the Caribbean Americans don't really seem to speak or understand much patois. So they're sitting there listening to this song, which it has like a reggaeton beat to it as well, doesn't it? So which is a popular sound over there anyway.
Yeah.
And they're all singing it. And they're on TikTok singing the words like it's nothing in 2020. And someone's called them up on it and been like, you know what this song's about, right? You know this song's about like hating gay people and burning gay men. And there's all these Americans on TikTok like singing it. Fire in or chichi man, give me fire, make me burn.
Yeah. Do you know what's mad though? The song doesn't sound like what the lyrics mean, if you get what I'm saying though. So like for someone who doesn't understand the language or what's going on, they're just thinking this song sounds fire.
Sounds like some
literally fire.
Yeah.
But it's mad because there was a time when
literally fire.
Of all places, yeah. So as a young DJ, I grew up in Brighton, and Brighton of all places, bro, I used to rinse this song in my sets.
Serious? In Brighton?
Bruv. In Brighton.
Mad.
Because
And you didn't get stoned or?
no. But also back then, it wasn't such a taboo thing,
Yeah, true stories.
and it was kind of just. It was kind of just accepted. Like dancehall music's homophobic. Like we play these songs. You can play like Boom Bye Bye in a dance. You can play Chichi Man in a dance. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that. But whereas nowadays, like I can't remember.
Everything's so PC now, bro. Everything, like,
bro.
that's why, bro. Everyone's too soft now, man. They're soft.
Yeah, but I do think though, I was going somewhere with this conversation. Like, I feel like one of the things, yeah, I've always felt dancehall music and reggae music, not reggae music actually, I'm not going to class the two together, but dancehall music has never reached the heights that it was supposed to reach. I feel like when, you know, as music goes through like trends and waves and stuff, in the UK I'm speaking about, I feel like dancehall music came very close to being that popular, like the number one, the stuff that is getting played in peak time in the multi-genre dances and that. But then Afrobeats kind of came in and swept the rug out and did that. Like, and I've always wondered if like the homophobic side of dancehall culture is what held it back. There's always been something I've wondered, because I know like Beanie Man, for example, he's not allowed to perform in Brighton. Bridgie Banton's not. I don't even know if he's allowed in England, but he's definitely not allowed in Brighton because of certain lyrics and stuff.
Not because of lyrics.
In Brighton.
They're not letting man come in the country now.
If you realise, right, Brighton, I think, I mean, it might be wrong now, but Brighton, I think, has the biggest gay community in the UK. And something that's been referred to as the pink pound is very strong in Brighton. So like, it's a huge like infrastructure and economy in Brighton about this. So to now have a Jamaican artist to come to a 1,000-person venue and start singing Bun Batty Man and all of this stuff, like, you can't do that in somewhere which is like the gay capital of the UK.
You can't.
Surely that can't be the reason for why it slowed down though and Afrobeats come in. It could boil down to the fact that maybe there wasn't a lot of hits reaching our shores, innit, out of Jamaica, whereas Afrobeats, the UK kind of grabbed hold of that, and it's like the current like sound. I feel like dancehall still gets run. It's just not as strong. I remember when I first started DJing, dancehall was running sets, but that's like 10, 15 years ago. Like,
I think the association with dancehall, and when like a lot of these dancehall artists, they're very vocal about what they believe in. Yeah. So when you've got an artist that is very, very proud to champion the fact that I don't like this and I don't like that, and they're putting it into their songs, and then their songs are circulating around the world, and then it turns into a hit, and then you're like, rah, but then the world becomes so PC. So once upon a time they could do that and it was all right, it was welcomed. But now you don't really hear that too much anymore because one, they want to get their song played.
Yeah.
They want to get their song played. Two, they want to be able to travel and perform their songs. And three, they just don't want to be blacklisted anywhere. And you got to remember, like let's just say, I don't know, Buju performing Boom Bye Bye. Yeah? Like that song was a hit. It actually still is a hit.
It's like a timeless classic.
It's a timeless classic.
It's a timeless classic.
But I wouldn't be able to play that song anywhere.
No.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? If I was playing at, I don't know, some corporate Christmas party, I couldn't drop.
Run it,
Bro. I couldn't drop Boom Bye Bye and be like, yo, because, you know what I mean? It's just, it's I don't know, it's a bit weird, man.
The world's a different place now, man. That's what it boils down to, isn't it?
Completely
It
different
is,
place,
but the thing is
bro.
as well, like it's a cultural thing in Jamaica. So like with that age group of people, that's like, it's like convincing your old uncles and your grandparents to change how they think. But that's what was okay then. That's
exactly.
fine. I think
That's real.
I think nowadays,
That's real.
if a dancehall artist was to come out with that kind of tune now, I feel like they'd be in trouble. But it did made me wonder if, and Hooli, you might be able to answer this. Like, do you think the attitude in Jamaica and in dancehall music, has it changed, or are people just not talking about it because they know it's not to be spoken about?
I don't know if the attitude has changed. I wouldn't say the attitude has changed. As I said, what people believe in, they believe in. Do you know what I mean? And how they feel, that's how they feel. If it's not around them, they feel comfortable to just be against it. You know what I mean? But the world, especially Jamaica, like Jamaica is becoming a lot more acclimatized to like having gay communities and gay people just being as free as possible. You know what I mean? They're humans, they're doing their thing. Like for me, even myself, like be gay, innit? Be happy, do what you want. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe, I don't know, my friendship with you may be tested in some way, shape or form. Nah, I'm joking, man. I've got no problem with gay people, man. Do you know what? Be gay. Do your thing.
This is the soundbite we're using. This is the clip we're gonna
I
use.
love this. It's just like, be gay.
Yeah, be gay,
Own
be
that
happy,
shit.
be you, own that. Yeah, just I'm just not. I'm not a fan of the camp side of things, but yeah, that's another
Yeah,
conversation.
this is it, man. We're in a world now where like people are expected to just be able to do what they want and live freely in it. So if that
Just
means
live
being gay or
freely,
behaving
bro.
a certain way, that's the world
Be
we're
free.
in now,
And you
innit?
know what? I feel like every country has accepted, or most countries have accepted that as well. I feel like even in Jamaica, bro, there's gay people all over the place. There's gay people everywhere. And they probably feel a little bit more free now to be themselves rather than hiding behind closed doors and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So
What's always been quite mad to me, as an outsider, because I don't think I heard a dancehall record until I was about 17. In fact, I remember the moment I heard my very first dancehall record, which, funnily enough, was Beanie Man, Who Am I?
Oh,
Probably
wow.
being played probably at about 89 BPM. Anyway, I digress. What's always been crazy to me is like Jamaica, the land of reggae music, and reggae music. Generally, like a vast majority of reggae music is about love and peace and unity. And then you've got the dancehall side of it where there is that faction as well. It's like Bon Chichi Man, all that. That is mad to me. And do you know what?
wild.
There's a segue here. You're going to like this. The other thing that's mad to me, is I had a conversation about 2 weeks ago with Mr. Vegas. And we were talking about Black Lives Matter. And I asked him if there was like protests in Jamaica, because seemingly from what I've seen, it's where there's black communities that are policed by white police. Basically, that's where the problem seems to lie. So I was interested to know if there was protests. And he said, no, there's no Black Lives Matter in Jamaica, no protests or anything. But he said, but what there is colorism against Rastafarians, like the Rastafari community, which, bro, this blew my mind when I found this out, that essentially like the Rastafari community are like second-rate citizens in Jamaica. Did you know that?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. No, I've always known that, man. I've always known that the Rastafarian community, which you just automatically assume that they are like the elite in Jamaica, innit?
Bruv, like,
Yeah, that's what I heard. That is mad.
You just think that they're the elite, and
especially if you look at how, like, essentially the way Jamaica is marketed to like the Western world. I'll just call it the Western world. I know Jamaica's in the West, obviously, but the way it's marketed is dreadlocks.
Yeah, of course.
Rasta music, Rasta culture, Bob Marley, like, come to Jamaica. Do you know what I mean? All of this stuff, and like,
because that's the selling point. That's the selling.
Yeah, exactly. To then find out that the exact same people whose image is being used to sell the country are basically looked down on like second-rate citizens, bruv.
That's mad. So they're protesting for that in Jamaica.
Well, no, it's an issue in Jamaica.
Okay.
It's a huge issue.
That's crazy, man.
There was a high court ruling recently in one of the schools in Kingston that meant one of the students had to cut off their dreadlocks if they wanted to go to the school.
Yeah, that's definitely happening. That's definitely happening. And I feel like they're very image conscious. I say they, but there's a lot of institutions and stuff like that in Jamaica that are very image conscious. They want to have a certain kind of set of people that's representing them. Do you know what I mean? You have to look a certain way, and I don't know if you guys have, like, people have been bleaching for years, and they're trying to make their skin lighter because they feel like the more lighter skin you are, the further you're gonna go in life, or the more accepted you're gonna be, or you may look a little bit more European, or I don't even know whatever mythology they've got in their head for it, but it's something that kind of started and it caught on, and then more and more people was doing it, and it's pretty similar to like schools and work, and you can't have certain type of hairstyles if you want to work in certain places, and do you know what I mean, which is sad, which is completely sad, but I feel like it's somewhat accepted in Jamaica at the moment, especially in Jamaica, around the Caribbean as well. But I've definitely heard cases of like schools saying, you can't have dreadlocks and come to school and stuff like that, which is crazy, bro.
That is wild, bro. A friend of mine was actually telling me about, and I want to look into it more. I haven't taken the time to do it yet. But there was a time apparently when actually if you had dreadlocks in Jamaica, you were hunted, like proper hunted down.
Yeah.
Like,
I've heard those stories. I've actually heard stories. I mean, it's gonna be wild, bro. Rastafarianism is massive in Jamaica, bro. Like it's massive in Jamaica, but they still looked down upon. I've definitely heard some crazy stories, man.
I had no idea about any of this guy. Like, this is really man, educated, man.
Really, like, education thing, you know what I mean?
Mad. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
And actually, just to go on your point there, Hooli, about people bleaching their skin. There's two things actually. I know in some parts of Asia, so in Thailand as well, people actually do a similar thing. And the reason for that, I don't know if it's the same in Jamaica, but the reason for that in Thailand is because basically if you have darker skin, it generally means you work outside. So you have a labor job, like you might work in the rice fields or whatever. Whereas if you have paler skin, it means you work indoors, which essentially means you earn more money and you're of a higher class.
There we go.
So I don't know if it's the same thought process in Jamaica.
That might be the same. That might be the same mindset, man. I don't know.
Vybz Kartel was the first person I ever heard about bleaching. When he started doing it,
There's a lot of people that's been bleaching for Vybz Kartel, but I feel like Kartel with his platform, when he started to do it, a lot more people.
Yeah, I was gonna say with his influence on the scene as well.
Yeah, his influence is nuts.
Did you ever hear his reasons behind doing it?
No, I think the assumption was just because so one reason, I don't know if it's speculation, but one of the reasons were because his tattoos weren't prominent enough.
Right.
Okay.
So he wanted more. He wanted to
stand
see
out.
He wanted these tattoos to stand out because they were blended in. You know, like the blue tattoo on darker skin. Sometimes you just can't see it. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like that was probably that's one of the reasons I heard, and that kind of makes sense.
I read something really interesting, right? And this is probably verging on conspiracy theory, but I actually remember.
Here we go. This guy loves a conspiracy theory, you know.
The good thing is the source of this was actually Vybz Kartel's own social media. I don't remember if it was Twitter or Instagram at the time. I don't think I was on Insta at the time, so it might have been Twitter. But basically, I remember Vibes Cartel started doing loads of crazy stuff. He started getting tattoos everywhere. He bleached himself so he went grey. He was doing all sorts of stuff. Like, I think there was like a sex tape got leaked or something at one point as well.
Man.
Like some girl going down on him or whatever.
Mad.
And then I remember basically, this is before he got locked up, right? And so Vibes Cartel's always been like the man of the people, innit? He's always like, get out the ghetto, like.
Yes, exactly.
Get knowledge and get out the ghetto kind of thing. And basically, I remember reading this statement from him on whatever platform it was, saying that the reason he's doing all this outlandish stuff is to get his name out in the public and basically make himself a worldwide, put everybody, like globally, everyone's eyes on him because they're coming for him. I remember him saying, basically, the authorities are coming for me. And if everybody is watching me, they can't kill me. It's like, if everybody's looking at me, they can't kill me off. And strangely enough, like a year later or whatever, he got the murder trial and then he got locked away for 35 years. So at the time, I remember thinking like, wow, like he's done all of that, but there was a reason. And I vaguely remember him saying something about a book release as well. He was writing a book, or there was a book coming that exposed certain things.
I was trying to blow up some names and shit.
I'm trying to lay it all out.
Conspiracies, bro. You know, it could have been the case, man. Could have been the case.
But I just wish I'd paid attention to what the sources were, because I'm now.
Vibes is the GOAT, man.
Yeah.
Do you think
Vibes is the GOAT?
Is he still the greatest of all time, Hooli?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt, bro.
All right.
Like, without a shadow of a doubt, when it comes to hits and like churning out, you got to remember,
I'm a hit machine,
bro. Vibes Cartel was before jail. You know, even kind of now. Before jail, he was putting out a tune a day.
Yeah, real talk.
And these tunes, they weren't like some idiot tunes that they were just throwing. Like, he was just throwing out, like jumping in the studio, putting together a song. And he was putting out tracks, bro, like one a day, and each track was like raw. I could like listen to this and get vibes in. And he's inside, like from behind the bars, and he's still making hits.
Look, my man's got a full studio set up in Penn or what?
I feel like he's got
my man got the access on Smash, innit? Telling you, bro.
Another thing, actually, I remember reading before, because I think he knew that he was going to jail, innit? Especially that stuff I just said about him saying the government was coming for him and whatnot. He knew he was going to jail for a very long time. And another thing I remember reading is that he was making 8 to 9 songs a day.
Yeah, that battle already.
8 to 9 songs a day for a very long time leading up to when he went away.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he had a catalogue, and I think, like, again, it goes back to just as a Jamaican recording artist, just being tenacious in the studio, innit? Like being in there all the time, hammering
he was that
out
guy.
songs. Without a shadow of a doubt, he has a studio.
Yeah, I feel like he has, because there was a time when, as you said, like he just used to, his catalog was crazy. His unreleased catalog was mad, which is what producers was kind of working with. And then there was kind of talk about him having like one of those like dictaphone,
yeah,
and like just record all.
My man barring up on the dictaphone,
send it to the
engineer.
Yeah, mad thing, and they're cleaning it up and they're shelling another hit. But now I feel like there was a time, I can't remember what the remix was, but it was such a current hit, and he done a remix of it, and the remix fit the tune. So
he did that with Styler G's tune last year, Touchdown.
Oh yeah, he done it with Touchdown. There was one before that.
Exact same flow as Styler G. So that's how I'm like, there's no way this was recorded before he went. Like, absolutely no way. And the clarity was perfect as well.
Perfect. Yeah, I think there's something going on. Whether he's been granted kind of, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
My man sell kitted out.
I still need to work that out. I still need to find that out. I've been trying to find that out. I need to find out.
I feel like in my head, my perception of a Jamaican prison is not a very nice place, but I do feel like because of who he is, like it's the government that want him down, innit? It's not necessarily the prison guards or the
people,
warden
yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
and I mean, let's face it, he's probably an extremely wealthy guy as well. Even like in Jamaican terms, he's probably extremely rich.
Oh,
but
yeah,
in
100%.
real life terms, he's probably very, very rich.
Very
as
rich,
well, do you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Because
Yeah, of
there
course.
is a difference with Jamaica being a poor country and that. Like,
Yeah,
he could
yeah,
just
yeah.
be like normal rich, but I feel like he's worldwide.
Man's rich.
He's
Man's
definitely,
rich.
definitely wealthy.
So
He's
I
definitely
think,
wealthy.
without a doubt, bro, like he's probably, I'm speculating obviously, but he's probably got that prison on smash. Like, I feel like he's
I
just
reckon
gonna
so.
be there.
I
and
reckon
it's
so.
just like, you know, you see them old gangster films and they've got like sheets up in, like they've got their whole cell to themselves. The sheets are up and they're just, everything's comfortable. Like I feel like that's probably his living conditions.
Yeah, I feel like there's definitely something that he's got it nice. I feel like he's got it nice. And you got to remember, Cartel's always been for the people. Like all of his music has always been for the people, whether it's a love song, whether it's something for the roads, whether it's gangster, whether it's family. Like he's always been able to relate to the people. So like they probably have him nice up in there, man. Like prison warden, governor, the other prisoners, they're probably like making sure that, you know what, things are going nice. And you never know, he's probably even nicing them up as well. You know what I mean?
Damn right. Couple of cheeky backhanders.
There we go, innit? You know what I mean?
There you go. Pause. That's not even a pause.
Take this. Yeah, I know. Dubl was trying to reach.
That's not even a pause, man. Reach in there, though.
I was laughing for the reach still. I was laughing for the reach.
Yo, how long did my man get again? When's he out?
35 years. I remember at the time, I think I worked out like my son was going to be like 27 or something when he gets out. Something mad like that. Like,
yeah, he's going to be.
It might have even been older. It might have been like Roman was going to be like 32 or something when Vibes Cartel comes out. I can't remember.
I think when Cartel comes out, he's due to be like 60.
Late 60s.
I'm semi-surprised, man, with the way cancel culture is these days. Like, you see how quick Tory got cancelled for shooting Gala in the foot? You get me?
Bro.
But Vibes music is still like just accepted in all shapes and forms.
It is weird. Like, it's very, very weird. Man got a murder. He's got
man got a buy on a murder charge. You know,
he's got an M charge, and it's like people are still just love him, bro.
People are out cancelling people for much less.
I think we had a similar. Go on, Hooli.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying it is weird. It's weird when you think about it. Like as Stylist said. Like people are being cancelled for less, bro.
Way less. If you write a tweet wrong.
Yeah, and it's like even like one extra, you can't play Vibes Cartel. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he's banned on one extra as well, isn't it?
He's banned on certain things. So, but everywhere else, it's cool with him. It's cool with him.
Yeah,
we had this conversation because when around about, I can't remember if it was when we discussed the R. Kelly cancellation or the Michael Jackson accusations and stuff, but we were saying like a point that I brought up was these guys have done horrible things, but not murder.
Yeah, where's
the line? As DJs, we're like, right, like, bro, I've deleted all the R. Kelly's gone out of my music library. It's gone. Like,
you deleted it all?
Yeah, apart from the productions, like clubbing. No,
yeah, I don't play R. Kelly, but
clubbing's still in there. But generally, like anything with R. Kelly's voice on is gone. But at the same time,
I feel like what R. Kelly did is worse than murder.
Yeah, but
true.
Depending on the situation, like you look at R. Kelly and you kind of look.
Yeah,
I'm not giving Vibes a buy on a murder charge, by the way. But R. Kelly, like, he was moving a bit booky, bro. Like
horrible.
Nah, but that's where I'm going with it. Is like what R. Kelly done is horrendous. What Vibes Cartel did, if he did it, because there was even like evidence tampering.
Yeah, did he actually get? Like, was he found like legitimately guilty, or was it just
not legitimately?
Not legitimately.
There was so much evidence tampering going on, and so much.
Okay.
With
Right. So could have even been a setup or anything.
What he did or didn't do, and again, I'm not condoning it, obviously, but the guy who died was a gangster. Like he was in that life.
He's in that life anyway.
If you're in that life, everybody says it. Like you either end up dead or in jail.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you sort of expect that. You don't want it, obviously, but you expect it. So that's why I feel like it sounds so bad and mental to say.
No, I'm on your level. I hear.
Yeah, you
I
got
hear
It's
it.
almost. I need to find a phrase that like it's almost victimless. It's not victimless. Obviously, the guy's a victim and he's dead, and his family have to live with that and whatnot. But do you understand what I mean? Like he knew what he was getting into and paid the consequences for something that he did. And so I find it easier to separate the actions from the music. Whereas where I'm hearing R. Kelly sing certain things about finessing a girl, and now I'm finding out all this wild shit about the age group of girls he was messing with.
Bro,
I can't separate the music from that. Does that make sense? Because now,
you can't run.
About, bruv, is some fucked up shit.
Yeah. It seems like you're ready for all of that. Yeah. You can't, bruv. It can't.
You can't be running happy people at the end of the dance anymore. Well, greatest and all that. None of it.
Step in the name of love. Like, what kind of love, bro? What kind of love are you talking about, bro?
It's such a shame as well because I Wish was such a tune.
Oh, bro.
I Wish, R. Kelly, I Wish was such a tune, bro.
Bro, do you know what? It hurts my heart. I'm not gonna lie because as an artist, I think R. Kelly is like the king of R&B, bro.
Yo, he was one of the goats, man. That's why it hurts even more.
It actually hurts. Do you know what I mean?
Because he was a different caliber.
He was just in a different league, bro. Like, and he's got the hits and
in more ways than one.
Yeah, in more ways than one, bro.
Mad
thing.
But yeah, it's a shame about R. Kelly, isn't it?
It's definitely a shame about R. Kelly, man. I feel like, bro. Sometimes I think, why, man? Why mess up like the legacy? Do you know what I mean? I may need to. I haven't deleted my R. Kelly files, by the way.
Oh, for real?
Have you played any out since?
I've never played any out. I was out once and I heard the DJ drop R. Kelly like bossy, like with chest.
Wow, with chest. Man owned it.
Man pressed the play on R. Kelly and everyone was just like looking at him thinking, nah, you can't do that. Like, what are you doing? Do you know what I mean?
I feel like if you are going to play it, you got to own it or...
You have to.
Or it's curtains.
Yeah, you have to own it. You have to do it.
You got to do it, like you said, you have to do it with your chest. You got to hype that shit up on the mic.
Yeah. You have to. Because if you don't, then it's a problem. Do you know what I mean? If you can't just go in like shy with it. You can't do it shy.
No, you got to own it.
Tease it and just like, a little bit like, I test the waters. No, you got to
press play and go toilet. No, you can't do that, bro.
There's been a few times that I've been flicking through my Serato and I'll see them and I'll be like, no, not tonight.
Yeah.
You scroll past and like you get tempted, and then you remember the documentary and you're like, nah.
Yeah, exactly. And you remember and you're like, nah, it can't work, bro.
I'm not winning R. Kelly. Michael Jackson gets one regular. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
You know what?
I can't cut MJ out, fam.
No, you can't cut MJ.
If I had somewhere to play Michael
Jackson,
I probably would. But I can't think at the moment. Obviously, right at the moment, there is nowhere. But do you know what I mean? Like, taking lockdown out of it, if we were actually DJs, I can't really think of where I might play regular Michael Jackson.
I played that at 60th the other day and I dropped some MJ. That was sick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Did it feel like a risk, though? Did it feel like, they might come for me?
Not really.
They might come for me. That 60-year-old's going out.
Some auntie might come over well offended, like, why are you playing this?
Yeah.
What have you done? Get out.
What's going on? Nah, do you know what? It was actually calm, man. Everyone had liquor and rum punch in their system, bro.
No one was asked.
No one was asked, bro. They were just friggin' doing all Billie Jean shit and all sorts of stuff.
I feel like MJ don't really have that thing around his name. Like R. Kelly, like is kind of looked on in it, like disgusted. Like, but I feel like MJ's not in that. It's not in that bag for me.
I think because with R. Kelly, it's not disputed, is it?
Yeah,
it's very clear. Like, he did this shit. Like, everybody has seen it. Everybody has seen the evidence. The victims have spoken out. Like, even R. Kelly, I think, to a certain extent, has kind of been like, well, it wasn't that wrong, was it?
It wasn't. Yeah, it was the problem.
He's not out and out denied everything. Whereas Michael Jackson, obviously, the fact that he's dead means he can't defend himself. But then there's so many like shady things about the quote unquote evidence, innit? Like, it's still questionable.
R. Kelly's still alive, innit? R. Kelly's still around and he's still here to deal with it. Which is why he needs to be he needs
Held
to
accountable.
He needs to be held accountable, bruv. And one of those part of being held accountable is DJs not playing his music. Like that's part of the account.
Did he get removed off Spotify as well? Is that true? Did he take his shit down?
I think he's still on there.
Happened, I think they removed his artist page, but not his music. So I think if you, I imagine that was probably to do with helping protect the artists that he was attached with. So like, it's
still there above 5 million monthly listeners.
What?
Mad.
Look at it like this though. If you have 5 million monthly listeners, we're talking about R. Kelly. And we're talking about globally. That is a very small number for someone like... Look at his catalogue, bruv.
Yeah, Ignition is his highest stream record, yeah? It's had 448 million streams.
Yeah.
Blood.
Do you think that people are going to be clicking on him more because...
Yeah, I think around the time when his name was in everybody's mouth, pause, why not? I feel like probably people were clicking on because another thing is more recently, obviously, Tory Lanez. Like, I was chatting with someone from the label when all of that was trending and his streaming figures went up. A meme went round saying he was down from like 40 million down to like 2 million a month or whatever, but it's not true. The streaming figures actually went up when he was trending. And I think that's the case with artists, isn't it? It's people like, they're either trying to discover who is R. Kelly. I've never heard of this guy before.
I was going to say, any press is good press most times these days, man. Like you say,
unless you get cancelled like Wiley, then you can't get any streams.
Right. Yeah, but what they've done to Wiley is a whole different story, though. They've removed him from earth. From it's like the only time I see Wiley now is on Poet's Instagram live.
Oh, bro.
Other than that, it's like, you seen that guy, bro?
They
so
removed
random
him from earth. Like,
his
existence is gone.
It's mad, isn't it? What can happen to you out here now? Like the cancelling's going to a different level. They'll delete all your socials. Have they took his shit down off YouTube and that as well? Music.
I don't know. I haven't checked.
No, I don't think so. And I think the only reason I think that is because I imagine Wiley...
They're trying to delete him from the fucking system, man.
Wiley probably doesn't own the music. You've got to think, obviously, the labels own the music.
Okay.
So
right.
It's probably because... Like, it's probably because the labels will own. So, like, Boasty, just as an example, it'll be Wiley's song, but he doesn't own the song. He won't own the rights to the song. He will just have part of the copyright. So
wouldn't that be the same with like Spotify and other music streaming platforms then?
Yeah, I imagine so.
Yeah, you think so?
So I think it's just his social media that's gone. I don't think he's gone off of Spotify. I'm gonna check.
Oh, hasn't he? Oh, I thought he did.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
I haven't even checked.
Yo, I'm gonna look because I'm on Spotify right now. He's still there. He's still there.
And that will be because he's not a fully independent artist. Oh, hang on, shit. He's not a fully independent artist. He has a label that owns his music essentially. So to cancel those revenue streams, it's like to Sony or whoever owns his rights. Why should they be punished? I mean, that's how it will be looked at, I think. But obviously, all of his social media, gone.
Like,
it's
crazy, bro.
It is mad. I don't think like it's weird because so many people are like, oh, you shouldn't have done him that bad, and like, I feel like it was very extreme what happened to him. But the thing is, if that's what we do now, so he was racist and said some vile stuff, if that's what we do, then cool. That's what we do. So let's get rid of everybody with that same energy, whether it's against Jewish people.
I think that's where the problem was, in it.
Chinese people, like, fuck everybody. Let's cut all of their socials off and get them off the internet. Do you know what I mean? But it's not happening. It's kind of like Wiley said something bad against someone who's quite powerful and now he is gone.
Gone.
But, bro, there's been tons
I think that's where the problem was, in it. Not the fact that Wiley's done it, like the millions of people that have done it before him and not been treated no way near in the same way, in it. I think that's where the uproar was. Man just got deleted.
But you can say, like, okay, before, so it was happening before, but as soon as Wiley is removed, that's setting a precedent now, innit? That is like saying, this is how we deal with racist people that are this outlandish with their opinions. We get rid of them. Like TikTok even fucking got rid of him, bro. He couldn't do it Instagram. He couldn't do it Twitter. He opened a TikTok. The next day, gone. See ya.
That is, man's on the blacklist now, man. He's
mental.
Curtains.
Fucking mental. But the problem is that same energy isn't being kept for people who are being racist against other groups. It's literally just Wiley. That I know of. I don't know anyone else that has fully been removed like this for saying outlandish shit.
Oh, yeah, no. It's the first. I've not seen this happen to anyone.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Or since.
Yeah. And it's not even like a timeout, is it? That's like straight removal, like don't come back.
See, this is the thing as well, though. It's like, how can he come back from this? Like, because generally, if you fuck up, yeah, you need to apologize for I'm sorry that I did that. But how can you apologize if you now can't have a public voice?
No output whatsoever.
Yeah. He did an interview with, I think, Sky News, and they edited the fuck out of it and chopped up everything that he said.
I saw that one. That was horrible.
Yeah, they done him dirty.
They done him horrible.
Dirty,
yeah, he did. Did you see the one he did with Poet?
Like, yeah, I seen it.
Just sat down in Amsterdam. It was a bit weird. Like,
it was awkward, innit?
The setting was outside, and you could kind of. My perception of it was that Wiley was sort of like a bit on edge.
He was just watching his back all the time, like, looking around. Looking around.
I feel like Wiley's kind of I feel like Wiley's that character though, man. I feel like he probably is always on edge. Yeah, so he seems like that kind of character anyway.
Yeah, but if you're going to sit down and do an in-depth interview with him about a very, very serious topic, and you already know he's quite cagey and a very paranoid guy, why the fuck are you going to do it in the middle of a street? People walking past, where it's not just people from the ends that he might be a target. There might be like a Jewish person that thought, you know what, I'm really fucking offended by what this guy said, and he's in front of me, and he's got his back to me, and I'm just going to club him. Do you know
in the middle of Amsterdam as well, man's probably high as a kite.
Exactly. Take him to a studio somewhere, do it in a very quiet room where there's no one walking past, and then actually I feel like you could have got the best.
That's the only place I've seen him pop up is like through Poet's socials, because I think him and Poet kick it together a little bit, innit? I think they're homies, man. So I think that's all it is. That's why he went. That's
probably his only outlet right now.
Yeah, literally.
I definitely reckon he's on Twitter and Instagram somewhere. He's set up like a John Smith account, and he's going to be there. Like
he's set up a John Smith account.
Bro, you're going
to see Wiley pop up under some alias.
Yeah, without a doubt, he'll be there. Like you can't.
Yeah, he's on there. I know he's got a burner account because he follows a couple of like artists around Manny.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the account. I won't even hot it up on the podcast, but he's out there. But he's there. He's there.
Yeah, I could imagine. There's always ways, isn't it? There's always ways.
Yo, Hooli, man.
My brothers, mate.
So what's going on with you now then, bro? Lockdown, hopefully coming to an end maybe in the next 6 months. Like, have you been what's been going on with you? Have you had any bookings coming in? I know you said you've just been doing a couple parties and still doing your streams. Like, what's good in the world of Hooli, man? Talk to us,
my bro. So like, doing the streams. I've done quite a few day parties. There's been a lot of day parties that's been popping off, like brunch parties, which have been sick. I feel like I prefer day parties, you know, because like the least
different vibe in it.
Yeah,
you can be at home by 8 o'clock, innit?
You can be at home.
The Rona don't come out after 10, remember?
Oh yeah, imagine that 10 p.m. foolishness. But yeah, now apart from that, man, that's just been here, bro. Spending time with the family. Like I've been learning new skills, bro. It's like lockdown has been actually all right. You know what I mean?
Okay. Sick.
I've just had the time to do quite a few bits around my house. Set up my studio. There's loads of stuff that there's just loads of stuff that you've just been putting off for time.
Yeah, trust me,
man.
Like,
oh man, I got the hours to do it. And then, got a PS4 the other day, bro. Man's been clapping up some Call of Duty and all sorts of thing, bro. So, yeah, man, I've just...
Oh, I can relate. I bought a PS4. It's the first console I've owned since I was, like, 19, man. I don't even do computers. Got to that day, I was like, you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah.
Let me go cop a PS4, a couple games.
That's exactly what I done.
Played on it like 3 times, man.
No. I've been slapping away some Call of Duty, bro. Like it's serious. Yeah, but I've just been trying to enjoy some time, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Just 'cause I've used it as a nice little reset. Just doing me, bro. On the music side of things, still playing out, still doing bits. Obviously, I feel like it's just gonna change, but the bookings are still rolling in, man. Whether they're licensed events or not, I feel like there's a lot of promoters taking that risk.
Yep.
If it goes ahead, it goes ahead. If it doesn't, then it doesn't, man. But yeah,
that's it. There is a handful of DJs that are actually actively working. I know so many people that aren't doing like anything. So I feel like for the ones that are actually getting a bit of work and getting some pennies in and that. Like I feel like we're a handful of the lucky
Yeah,
bunch.
some people are active, innit? Like,
Definitely.
Hooli, you're pretty active, bruv. Like,
Yeah. I've been active. I'm not gonna lie. I've definitely been active. The bookings have been rolling in, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. They've been rolling in. And I've been pretty active. I've been out and about. But yeah, it's just gotta kind of make it what it is, bruv. You know what I mean? Sometimes these things, whatever conspiracy people have around Corona and COVID-19 and whatever it is, you just have to get on with life, man. Some people are trying to like shut down and not live life. Like, still live life, bro. You know what I mean?
feel like for the first couple of months, I was semi like that. I was just moving bare paranoid. It's like, oh, man's gonna get sick. I'm gonna die. Like, like that's just trust me. That's how I felt at the start. Like now, I'm just like, bro, like, what's gonna be will be, innit? Like, you just got. Like, how long can you put your life on hold? You get me? Now I'm the arse, bro. I'll DJ anywhere now, bro. Send me a booking,
bro. Yeah,
send me a booking. I'm there.
This is it, bro. So yeah, man, that's me, man. I'm just here, bro. Just here.
Nah, it's good to see that you're active, bro. Like, I love that. Like, it's this day party thing. I feel like that's the future for us now with this 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
curfew. I feel like
definitely.
everybody's just gonna. They've done this to stop people going out turning up and like obviously for DJs it's a killer for the bars and the industry in general. Everyone's just gonna. People are still gonna turn up.
They're just getting fucking wasted in the daytime instead of the nighttime. That's what it is.
They're just gonna do it in the day now, bro. Like it'll never. Like I don't understand what they. If anything, they're gonna cause more problems for themselves.
Yeah, now. I ain't seen the apart from my little like notification that came through before we jumped on.
Yeah.
I don't even know the reasoning for this 10 p.m. curfew. It doesn't make any sense, bro.
I think they're just trying to stop people turning up, bro. I feel like that's what it is. Like the city centres on weekends are busy in the evenings, man. Like I went into Manny on Saturday night and like the streets it's busy, bro. So like I think they're trying to stop. You know what it's like when people drink, man. No one cares when they get drunk.
No one cares. But
so
they're just gonna do the same thing before 10.
Exactly.
Like, it's just
I think it's a case of they're trying to stop things. They're trying to shut things down, but they know if they fully shut the industry down, they're gonna have to drop another bag on us.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, because there's gonna be.
Like,
I don't know how many people work in nightlife industry, but there's got to be. I'm just going to say tens of thousands. It might even be hundreds of thousands.
Easy.
Tens of thousands of people that are just going to be out here doing what? There's already millions of people that have lost their jobs since March. So job hunting is next to impossible for people. Like, especially, like, no disrespect, but if you've been a barman for the last 5 years, what transferable skills do you have that are now going to pick you up in this climate? Do you know what, do you know what I mean? Like, even like
real.
Myself as a DJ, like, what have you been doing
it's kind of like if you've just been DJing for the last 10 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah. Like, so what have you been doing for this 10-year gap on your CV? Well, I've been DJing. All right, cool. Well, yeah, this is a fucking insurance company. What the fuck do we need a DJ for?
Why do you need
I mean, so like, there's going to be a lot of people without. There are transferable skills, obviously, but a lot of people without transferable skills that just now don't have a job. Industry they physically can't work because the industry's not open.
Yeah,
so I think that's why the government are dragging their heels with it. Because if they say everyone has to shut again, that's it. They've got to drop the bag.
Yeah, but it was only last month they were telling everyone to go out and eat, bro. Everybody go out and eat. Now everybody close.
Now everybody,
It's your fault for going out.
It's your fault because you've all been out eating half-price food.
Bro, the good thing about DJs, is like we're all semi-creative people in it, so I feel like DJs like they can move in other directions. Like we're just used to creating and like, do you know what I mean? We have a different different way of thinking in it. So like I feel like all us man will find other ways to move. Like yeah, man, I'm definitely finding other hustles. I've tapped into loads of other different bits, and
that's sick. I think
my hopes aren't high for clubs opening anytime soon, innit? So it's like, where do you put your focus? Obviously, I'm still going to stay plugged in with the music and do my streaming and whatnot, but there comes a point where your man's got mortgage to pay for. You get me? Like, man, sometimes the finances got to take. Do you know what I mean? It's a tough one, man. It's a weird one, bro. We don't know how long it's going to go on for, innit?
Yeah, I got a lot of respect and time for like full-time DJs, you know what I mean, who haven't got the ability or the creative know-how to create their own, like, a second stream of income, third stream of income, you know what I mean? So when you got DJs who are creatives and some of them are like graphic designers or web developers, or I don't know, they've got another outlet to kind of hold and sustain them for some time. Bro, I can't lie, I don't know how some DJs are surviving, bro. Like, because it's tough out here, man.
I know a handful that have been
universal credit is a beautiful thing for some, man.
Did that actually work? Because I know there was a lot of talk about that, but did it actually?
I know some DJs that are taking it. Like, definitely, I know some DJs that are.
But they're getting it though, yeah.
As far as I know, I mean.
That's all right then. I just remember there was some talk about it actually it's not coming.
It's fucking peanuts though, man. You can't live on that shit, bro.
That £17 a week or something mad.
I could spend that in Pret on my breakfast.
One time.
Coffee, a fruit, and a little wrap or something. It's £15. Like there's your UC for the week.
One time done.
I'm telling you, bro. It's. I know a lot of DJs that were like full. Don't get me wrong, I was full time too, but a couple of years ago, I was like, how can I start building something on the side that I can just like build, like don't put my focus on it, but just build it like adjacent to what I'm doing with music. And then if the time ever comes, I remember me and Dubl had this conversation on one of the podcasts last year about creating like other incomes and whatnot. And literally this happened a year later and it's like, oh,
it's mad. It's necessary, like necessary.
Yeah, necessary now, but fuck, like how this time last year, if you said, yo, next year there's going to be a pandemic and every club in England is going to close, we're all going to be out of work, then they're going to open up again, then they're going to close them at 10 o'clock. You'd be like, nah,
think about it on an even more extreme level, yeah? Think about this time last year. If last summer someone said to you, oh, by the way, next summer it's going to be illegal to sing and dance at a club.
Yeah, that's
I'll be like, what kind of apocalypse type dystopian shit are you talking about? Right now? How can it be illegal to sing and dance? Bro,
yeah, when you put it like that.
It is illegal to sing and dance at a club. Should I say it again? It's illegal.
It's illegal. Oh, is it illegal though?
If the police come into the venue and people are up singing and dancing, the venue gets shut down. It happened to a venue in London on Saturday. A friend of mine works.
Yo, these Liverpool bookings have been going off, bro. Ain't no one listening. That rule's not sticking here.
Bro, watch from now, next time you're there, I bet they're much more strict with it. Either that or you just hotted it up and the venues get closed.
I was just about to say that. Yo, either that or you just literally blew everything.
Licensing if you're watching. Fuck you. Have some of that. Now, to be fair, Liverpool got locked off. They got the curfew early. Theirs kicked in a couple of days ago. Ours starts on Thursday. So, but my bookings have moved, bro. My bookings have moved. I'm doing 5 till 10 on Friday.
Why is it Thursday? Surely,
yeah, I know.
Lock this shit down now. Rather than
why Thursday?
We'll just wait till. Fuck it, let's wait till Thursday and then we'll give it a couple of days to just spread it around a bit.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
none of it makes sense, bro.
It's Boris, isn't it? My man's no, I'm not even gonna say.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying.
We know.
Clark.
We know. He's a Clark.
My man's a Clarticus, you know.
He's a Clark. Yeah,
Boris
but nah,
Clarticus
you know, even
Johnson.
Mad, them names. But do you know what? It's mad because like even some bookings that I've been in and you're playing and then like feds just roll up and they're in there and they're looking around and the nose around and you got the venue manager screaming, everyone sit down, stay in your bubbles, and then they're walking around, they're inspecting, and it's like you just think to yourself, they've actually got the time and the resource to do all of this. And they're talking about the police system strained and all sorts of, and there's things that's happening outside and they've got the time to be strolling around to check, make everyone's got their mask on and
making sure everyone's wearing their muzzle.
Yeah,
the
muzzle. Yeah,
we've got in Liverpool because it's like one long strip. Like they literally drive up and down the strip and then they'll pop in and out. So like the music will be up and then they'll just be like, oh, turn the music down for a sec. And then the music will go down.
Like those old school Greek strips.
Yeah, literally. It's like playing in Mali, isn't it? When the 5-0 roll down the ship and then the music one by one is just quiet. The club, all the club's music levels just going down. As soon as the police have gone, it's just everything just goes back up again one by. That's literally what it's like in Liverpool at the minute. So like the semi trying to bend it, like to still keep the people like they want to give you a little bit, but they're not trying. The government are just being fucking weird right now, man. They keep it open, but don't do this and don't do that because they can't close. They can't close everything again, innit? That's all it boils down to. Because the bag, they'll have to open the big bag of cash again.
Yeah, I just feel like they're just so unclear. Like there's so many grey areas and like so what do you mean? Do you want us to do this? Do you want us to do that? Like just be decisive, innit? Just give us what you want us to do, and we either do it or we riot. That's it.
Oh, we riot. Let's do it.
We either do it or we just mash up the whole place. So
I'm up for that.
Yeah,
I'm up for that.
So
We'll start a movement. We'll start a movement.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen, I've got to run on the school run now, believe it or not.
Love that, my
Responsible parenting things.
Love
I can
that,
you
my
chop it up
G.
if you want to keep chopping it up.
Yo, bro.
I'm gonna bounce. I got the school run as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say you two man got responsibilities, innit? I ain't got no responsibilities.
Living life, bro.
I'm gonna turn the decks on or some shit. Me. Yeah.
I'm jealous, my G.
Don't be jealous, bro. One day I'll have children.
I'm
not there yet.
Join the gang. One day you're joining the gang.
I'm not there yet. How many kids you got, Hooli? Just the one?
Just one, yeah.
Just the one.
Yeah,
Right.
Look at you two.
You know what? You two keep the episode rolling, man.
Nah, bro. This has been going on for 2 hours and 20 minutes, man. I need to hit the stop on this as well.
Yeah, let's wrap.
Let's
Right,
wrap.
guys.
Yo, Mr. Hooli, you're definitely gonna come back on because I want to find out
100%.
some more about growing up in Jamaica and stuff. I know
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Hell of things we didn't talk about, so we're
Hella
definitely getting you
things.
back on sometime very soon.
When you're ready, my guys. It's been amazing, bros.
Nah, Hooli, thanks for coming on, my guy. Yo, before you go, actually, quick, plug your socials. Where can the man catch you?
Yeah, listen, at Mr. Hooli everywhere, MistaHooli every single way. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Bebo, High Five, MySpace, every
TikTok.
TikTok,
everything. Yeah,
Sick.
everywhere.
Yo, Hooli, big up, my bro. Thanks for coming on, G.
Love my guys.
My guys,
Blessings,
good to hear from
brother.
you, man.
Thanks,
Bless.
All right,
Cool.
we gone.
Hashtag TalkOver Podclart. Obviously, you already know the drill. Spotify, Apple Music, and I think we're going on Amazon Music soon, aren't we?
Yeah, but I can put it through on Audio Boom now. So yeah, Amazon's next.
Sick.
Amazon
Welcome
Music
in.
as well, you know. Let's do that for this episode.
Yeah,
and of
man,
course, YouTube, if I didn't mention it, so you can see our beautiful faces and my outlandish hair. Stay this. So yeah, hashtag TalkOver Pod at TalkOver Pod on Instagram and Twitter, and that's it.
Man.
Mr. Hooli.
All right, Hooli.
My
My
guys.
guys.
Love my guys. Love.
Next.
Cool.